Have we started yet?
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit! What the fuck?
No, I think we just started like right now.
Oh, perfect. That's perfect. That's perfect. How's everybody doing?
Doing great. I know that you're doing really well.
You know, I woke up this morning at 7:30 to go golf. I wanted to get a session in before today's episode. And when you golf without going to the driving range first, and you're still a novice, that fucking sucks. I just stunk up the fucking place. It was bad.
What'd you shoot?
I stopped keeping count after the first 9. The first 9 I hit a 49. Interestingly enough, I hit the fairway every fucking tee shot, dog. It was all my approach shots. I couldn't get my iron games working, but I fixed my driver. So it's just teeter-totter. I'll figure it out. Got a big course tomorrow, though. Playing a good course.
What are you playing?
It's called Shadowhawk. It's like a little private country club that one of the homies is a member to. And it's like nice and shit. So.
That's a good name for a golf course too. I like that. Mm-hmm. Shadowhawk. That's a dope Top Gun name too. It does. Yeah, that does. That's a good one. Are you seeing Avatar tonight or tomorrow?
Tomorrow, Thursday night. I've been waiting so long for this. I just want to thank all of the gods that you guys pray to. I appreciate the work that they have done to make this happen. I want to thank James Cameron. I want to thank George Soros.
I got 24 pages on George Soros.
Oh God!
I bet you do, Billy.
I got both. I got everything.
I'm front and back.
Front and back.
So Arian, I'm gonna go see Avatar 2 tomorrow. Am I gonna be lost if I don't see Avatar 1?
I'll watch the first one tonight, bro. So cut the games. Why would you not see Avatar 1?
Okay, I'll watch it tonight.
Is Jake Sully in this one?
Yes, he's in it. What are we talking about?
Is Jake Sully with the same actor in this one?
Yes.
It's not like in the distant future.
I just can't take the disrespect the day before, not the day before.
And so how long is Avatar 1?
2:30.
Y'all seen how long this one is?
How long?
I'm going to see it Friday, but I bought the tickets before I saw the length. 3 hours and 10 minutes.
What the
Oh,
fuck?
I love it. Hey, enjoy the experience. Go in 3D. It was shot on 3D. Yes.
I'm working out, microdosing, and then going to watch this and eat like this is gonna be sick.
I don't know if we can say anything about how the movie is long based on these episodes.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's facts,
like, 3
Maddie,
hours and 10 minutes is so long. That is like a short episode for us.
You're saying it's the macrodosing of movies.
Yeah, but you can, while you're listening to this show, you can be doing other things. You can't. I think there should be an agreement among everyone in the theater. If you go into a movie that's 3 hours or longer, you can have your phone out. You can use your phone during the movie.
No.
What's up? Just don't turn it on like with the sound. I don't care if people use the
turn the brightness down.
Yeah,
no sound.
Yeah. People, I don't know. That shit don't ever bother me actually.
Yeah, people can get away with that. If you're like not an asshole, you always get away with using your phone during a movie.
Yeah, just don't take it out and like hold it up and make it distracting.
Or like let off the flash.
Yeah. I'm excited to watch Avatar 1 tonight and then Avatar 2 tomorrow. I'm gonna see it before you, Arian. I might send you some spoilers.
That's you're blocked. Yeah.
I'm gonna say R.I.P. my dog Tony Stark right after I get out. R.I.P. What's his name? Jack Sully.
Jake Sully.
Jake Sully. I don't know who he is. I don't know if he dies. Okay. I'm gonna tell people that he dies.
Text me. There's no way he dies this movie because they're
like
on
5 more.
Yeah, there's like 5 more is where he does. But text me after you watch the first one and be like, not even for a movie made in 2009. Tell me the graphics ain't cracking in the movie after you watch it. I mean, you've seen plenty of movies up to 2022. It's almost 2023. Watch Avatar from 2009 and be like, yo, this shit, it still holds up. Like, it's nice.
Wait, PFT, do you have VR goggles?
I don't.
Oh, I thought you did.
Why did you think I had VR?
Oh, that's why I'm literally typing in Oculus right now. I want to get my kids an Oculus. Does anyone have one?
I've used one here in the office. You have one?
I have one. Yeah, it's awesome.
Is it? You fuck with it? Okay.
Yeah, it's sick.
He watches.
Go ahead, Billy. Say it.
He watches JOI on it.
Yeah. You'd like to think that, huh?
What's JOI again? What's JOI again?
Oh, they freaking explain.
No.
Billy, you brought it up.
Yeah, you brought it up.
Remember
Billy.
jerk off instruction? Avery was the only one who knew what it was.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He watches it on his virtual reality.
No, it's sick though. There's some good games on there, man. You'll enjoy it.
So
that would be.
Is it the Meta Quest too? Is that what it is?
Yes, dude, it's crazy. Like you put the thing on and you just don't even feel like it's real life anymore.
That's why I said if you're gonna watch it PFT, since you can't see it in the IMAX like we all did in 2009, you should watch it in an Oculus.
I've got a pretty big TV. Big T knows.
I'd imagine.
I've seen your TV. It's not. It's it's nothing to write home about.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
I just like giving Big T a hard time because he thinks that I'm a multi-millionaire.
You should just play him up on it.
Yeah, no, I am. I will. I certainly will. Before we get into today's show, we've got a new sponsor today. Ooh. Holidays are here. I want you guys to be safe. I want you guys to get around, get home. Don't get arrested. Don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt somebody else. Let's say you're hanging out with some friends, putting back a few drinks. A few becomes a few too many. As the evening comes to an end, people start to head out. You think about calling for a ride. Nah, you live nearby. You can make it home. It's no big deal. What are the odds that you're going to get pulled over anyway? And even so, what's the worst that could happen? Your insurance goes up. You lose your license. Lose your job. You total your car. You kill someone. Everyone knows the risks of driving drunk. The results are tragic, often deadly. However, that doesn't stop everyone from getting behind the wheel while under the influence. That's why police officers are out there right now looking for impaired drivers on our roads to save lives. So if you think you're okay to drive after a few drinks, think again. Play it safe, plan ahead to get a ride. It only takes one mistake to change your life or someone else's forever. Drive sober or get pulled over. No excuses this holiday season. None. Zero. Want you guys all getting around safe, getting home safe. Call an Uber, call a Lyft, call a cab. Get your friend to drive you home. Don't drive if you've been drinking at all. That's a personal request for me. I'll be very disappointed if any of you out there get a DUI or hurt somebody this holiday season. So don't do it.
Such an asshole move.
It is an asshole move. Don't do it. So, got a few things I want to get into today.
Before we do, we just got to say, remember again, live show, the 26th of January, Thursday at Sony Hall. If you go on Sony Hall's website, sonyhall.com, and go towards January 26th, you'll see our shows available, meet and greet opportunities. It's going to be a great time. I can't wait.
Also, real quick,
Billy will entertain you that night.
Yep, Billy will entertain you. Big T's going to do his lib detector test again. We'll pick some people out of the crowd.
Couple good ones.
Yeah, we're excited for that.
Real quick, shout out everyone grinding during finals, college, high school. Like, I know you're listening to Macrodosing right now while you're studying. You can do this. You can make it. Take it easy on the Adderall. There's better nootropics that don't have as big of a crash that will help you actually retain the information better. L-theanine, caffeine. Don't kill yourself during finals, because some of us overdid during finals. Now we're so spacey that we get on a podcast about drugs and you don't even do drugs.
Aren't college finals like way over?
No.
You were struggling through that whole
I wasn't struggling.
His entire premise is that Billy did the wrong type of nootropics during finals week, and now he thinks that his brain's fried.
Yeah.
Now he's fucked up.
But I got those grades. I got through school.
That was Billy's personal Vietnam. Was midterms.
Writing about Vietnam while on as much meth as...
Now you've got the 1,000-yard stare. I did order some meth the other day online. I'm not a drug guy, but
DMAA.
I ordered some of the stuff that was in Jack, the original formula, Jack 3D. I found it online. I ordered some.
The bag?
It's not meth. It's geranium seed extract, which it's a naturally occurring substance. It's completely different from meth. It's not meth. I can't stress enough how not meth this pre-workout is.
Did you get DMAA or DMHA?
I'll let you know once it gets here.
Dimethyl. Yeah, dude, this is meth. Bro.
It's not meth. It's geranium seed extract, Billy.
Dimeth. It's 2-meth.
I'm a botanist, basically. I'm a flower guy.
It's not an. Damn.
I got flower. I got a flower.
Breaking news: Trump announces another major announcement tomorrow on his Truth Social page.
That sucks. Come on. Come on, Donald. Like, what are you, the NFL doing your scheduled release?
Well, it's funny. The video is him saying America needs a superhero, and then it's like a GIF, like an animated video of Trump like opening his suit, and it just says a T, and he's shooting laser eyes out.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, here, I'll send it.
What's he gonna do? Like, what's this big announcement? What could be bigger than him running for president again?
I don't know.
A running mate, maybe.
Maybe Melania's pregnant again.
There's no way he's still sticking. Do you think he got the? Think he out there stroking?
I think he is. I think Trump fucks.
He's think Trump out there stroking? There's no way he's stroking.
I think he takes a shitload of Viagra and gets it in.
I don't think he's getting in with Melania. She's sick of his shit.
You think
Many
so?
Pumps at best. Many pumps at best.
On his birthday, maybe.
No,
he's definitely short stroking.
I mean, because think about it. I think what the hell is his name? The little one was the last pump.
Wait, the little one? Are you talking about
Barron? The big one.
The big one. He's not the little one.
Wait, was he Melania's son? He's not Melania's son.
Yes.
Yeah. He is? Oh. I don't know enough about these.
When we're talking about the World Cup in 2026, let's not forget that Barron Trump's probably going to be on that team.
As a goalie?
No, he's good. No, he's too tall to be a goalie.
Well, what about the Dutch goalie? The Dutch goalie was a big motherfucker.
It's rare that you get somebody that's like 6'7" or above that's a really world-class goalie. It does happen from time to time. Like Hakeem Olajuwon, I think he was the Nigerian national team goalkeeper. I think I'm right about that. But that's like a very rare thing because the taller you are, the farther you are from the ground, so it's hard to stop low shots.
Yeah, but you can you can cover greater. Like you can't, because you can also kick.
You can, but also like your legs are super long. If you shoot right next to their legs, if they're a super tall guy, it's very hard for them to get down that fast.
And I guess the rebound effect, if you're just able to kick it, is worse than like being able to tuck it.
Yeah. You want a goalie that's going to be able to like hold on to the ball and not give up deflections. But who knows? Maybe Barron Trump could be a goalkeeper, but I think he likes playing out in the field. He'd be our Harry Kane.
So he's actually a soccer player?
Yeah, he loves soccer.
How do we know that?
I've seen him play. There's videos of him. How do I know more about Barron Trump than you do?
Because I don't actually give a fuck about them. You're obsessed as a lib.
What are you talking about?
You're like part of like the lib. Like you're like part of like Barron Trump.
Billy's trying to get on the big T train.
I'm not on the big T train.
He heard Big T going off on the libs.
No.
Billy, you understand that I don't like liberals, right?
Dude,
liberals are fucking annoying.
Like everyone else is over. Everybody else is over the Trump thing. But like you're like,
we just brought it up. We just brought up the fact that he's making a major announcement.
I know, but I don't look at Barron Trump videos.
I'm shocked that you don't know that Barron Trump is a soccer player.
I thought he was like a basketball player, and we were all thinking he was going to the NBA.
Okay. But yeah, he's a soccer player, and he's going to be on the U.S. national team. I wonder what that announcement could be, though. Running mate, you think?
I think it's running mate. MGT or MTG. TV.
Marjorie Green.
Marjorie
Green.
I don't think he'd do
big
that.
Big anti-Soros proponent. Marjorie Green thinks he controls space lasers.
Yeah,
stuff.
I don't know who he would be like. Who does he look at and he says like that's my guy?
I don't think he has.
If he's smart, he would do DeSantis. If he was smart,
I don't think DeSantis.
I don't think DeSantis would do that.
I don't think DeSantis would give up
Trump publicly. That's tough.
I don't think he'd give up the governor of like being governor of Florida to be a vice president.
About that shit. He's going for president, bro.
Yeah, maybe. Hey, he likes Fuentes. Fuentes just paid him.
Ain't no fucking way. He's like 24, 25.
Yeah,
I don't think he can be.
Elon. I bet you Elon would do it.
Elon would definitely do it.
Yeah. Elon, by the way, he's got like 7 jobs.
Yeah.
He's the CEO of Tesla. He's the CEO of the Boring Company. He's the CEO of Twitter. He works a lot.
You know what's pretty nuts? I mean, you know how I once said that some remote jobs you could juggle 7 of them because they just don't take up that much time? Sneaky being a CEO is easy as fuck.
Yeah. How does one become a CEO? Because like these CEOs, they get hired, they get headhunted, and they just like go from industry to industry.
You just gotta be a chief executive.
Yeah, but how does one work their way up? I feel like in terms of Fortune 500 companies, you don't see many CEOs under the age of 50.
Yeah. Well, there was a study a study that like 90% of all CEOs are born before the year 1970 or something nuts like that. And that what's wrong with the youth? Why do they have no managerial skills?
I think it just takes you forever to get to a place where you would be chosen as the next CEO. I think there's
just a large population of boomers.
You have to prove like loyalty to whatever company it is for a while. Yeah. And you have to be trusted. Being a CEO seems like an easy job.
I thought it's like you get appointed by like board of directors. It's basically like you manage the company, basically. So like you oversee everything and they trust your vision, kind of.
We should ask Erica how to become a CEO.
Nepotism.
Yeah.
Best way to do it.
That is the best way for sure.
Well, you just got to be C-suite long enough and then get tapped. I mean, do you remember the story from Silicon Valley
That's a great explanation. You just have to be in the C-suite and then get tapped. That's true. Like people always say, like they tap their CFO to become CEO.
Yeah, and then
getting tapped is either very good or very bad.
Yeah,
you can't be neutrally tapped.
You can't. I feel like most cases it's good though.
But then I feel like you could get tapped for murder by like the mob.
Yeah.
What is tapped?
It's a term
chosen.
It's a term. Yeah, it sort of applies a lot to like frat stuff, especially secret frats.
Oh, secret societies.
Yeah, like
I had a homeboy in college, not my college, but dude I went to the league with. But he said at his college, they had this like secret society where they would do nothing but dope shit, but they wouldn't let anybody know who would do it. So they would get together, they would like have meetings and shit, and then they would go do like dope ass shit, like they would clean something up, or they would fundraise and donate money here, and they would all do it all anonymously. Fire.
What did they go to an Ivy League by chance?
No, it was William and Mary, some shit like that.
Huh.
It was dope as shit though.
I'm surprised someone from William and Mary, are they FCS or D3?
William and Mary,
I think they're
FCS.
They're D1.
Yeah.
They're D1 FCS. They play in the CAA.
Yeah.
They used to play against JMU.
Isn't that the oldest college in America?
Cuz went there. Mike Tomlin.
Yep.
There.
Tomlin went there. Wait, does that mean that McVay went there too?
Yeah.
No, Sean McVay went to my school.
That's right. But
but he might have transferred. Because Tomlin definitely played with McVay.
Was it McVay?
Or was it? No, it wasn't McVay. It was McDermott.
McDermott, yeah.
McDermott.
The other
went
Mick.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those Irish, they just populate everything. Do you think there's like a conspiracy where like all the Irish control the world? Because they're everywhere.
Definitely not. No.
They might.
There's
I
definitely.
mean, think about how many Micks are everywhere.
The Irish cannot control the world.
Well, think about it. Think about how many high-ranking positions the Irish are in.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of them that don't live in Ireland. But Ireland is like Pittsburgh. If Pittsburgh was a country, like you see there's fucking Pittsburgh Steelers fans everywhere in the United States. It's not because there's like so many more of them, although there are a lot of Steelers fans. It's just that people that grow up in Pittsburgh, they get the fuck out of Pittsburgh, but they retain their Steelers fandom as the one cultural thing that ties them to the city. Much like if your family is Irish, you get the fuck out of Ireland, but you still hang on to the alcoholism.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
Right, Big T? Right, Big T? Anyway, I'm actually going to try this episode.
I think Billy was just
Irish? Is Big T Irish?
Yeah, he was just trying to call Big T like an alcoholic.
No, I wasn't. It's a callback.
Big T called Billy an alcoholic.
You know,
Big T saying you're Irish?
No, he was saying Big T was peeing on the street with his friends and he got defensive.
Which didn't happen.
So I'm actually going to try this episode to make a lot of people who believe in this anti-Semitic conspiracy theory pro-Semitic and flip them, because the Irish, like that juxtaposition of why there's so many like George Soroses, there's also a bunch of Irish people in high-ranking positions, and there's a diaspora that also like ends up in a bunch of places. Like,
so your goal is to make anti-Semitic people anti-Irish?
No.
Yeah,
sure.
That seems like a step in the right direction.
Yeah, like
you can't quit cold turkey. You gotta hate somebody.
Yeah, transform to the. Listen, I'm like a quarter Irish. I'm willing to do that.
To take some of the
I'm willing
shoulder
to
the bird up.
Take some heat. Yeah.
Let's throw up the Nina side.
You guys can hate me.
No Irish need apply.
Yeah. Mad Dog, you're Irish?
Super Irish. You guys
super
can hate
Irish.
Me. You guys
Okay.
can hate me all
Can I ask you a question? Like who is from Ireland? Like how far back?
My grandpa.
Oh, straight up your grandpa? Whoa.
That's pretty
like
Irish.
He has an accent?
He's dead, but
Sweet.
he did not have an accent.
No. My Irish heritage dates back to like early 1800s. So like I'm not like actually Irish, but just have the name and the genetics.
I think
like,
that's like actually Irish.
That's
though, isn't it?
you're still.
I know, but like
Irish.
so I run into a lot of actual Irish people because I hang out
Construction.
at those types of bars, and they always get pissed when I'm like, "Oh yeah, my family's from County Cork," and they're like, "Oh, you're from Ireland."
I'm from County Cork.
Oh my god.
Are you guys related?
What?
Well,
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
It's weird like that.
That'd be wild.
But they're like every American's from Ireland. But the thing is, the reality is there's more Irish people outside of Ireland.
Yeah.
So
Because they got the fuck out
yeah.
during the potato famine.
I was going to say during the famine, right?
Yeah, the Great Famine. Fun fact, County Cork, that's where the Titanic made its final disembarkment from.
Yeah.
I think from Cove.
Yeah.
Spent some time in Cove. Hank, you're Irish. What do you think about the conspiracy that it's actually Irish people that are in the giant cabal that controls the world?
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Yeah, like you control finances,
Depends.
the media, entertainment,
All the cops,
Hollywood,
fire department,
all the Hollywood mix.
like Matt Damon,
stereo.
Irish, Mark Wahlberg, half Irish.
I'm down.
Both
with
of
that.
them are the same person.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. They are the same.
Like they're everywhere.
Is it true?
I mean, this is the first I've heard of it, but it's got some legs.
Taco Bells. They control all the Taco Bells.
That's not even Irish. All the Irish pubs. Like what are they?
McSorley's.
Yeah.
Swiggins.
And don't get me started on all the O's out there.
Yeah.
O'Malley.
Kavanaugh.
O'Malley's. O'Charlie.
How many Irishmen are in the Supreme
Good
Court?
spot, O'Charlie's.
O'Charlie's is good. What do you got? O'Charlie's or Marie Callender's?
Shout out TK O'Malley's.
Wait, what?
Marie Callender's?
That's a frozen dinner brand.
That's a chicken pot pie.
No, they also they got brick and mortar locations.
What?
What?
Yeah.
The Kennedys.
Oh well.
Oh yeah, the Kennedys.
The Kennedys. Psh,
If that's the case, O'Charlie's is a fantastic establishment.
What are your like favorite fast casual restaurants?
oh my God.
Chili's #1
Okay.
by a country mile. O'Charlie's is up there, top 3.
I don't know what O'Charlie's is.
By the way,
It's an American restaurant. Like,
1, 2, 3.
Chili's #1. You've put me on the spot. I'll have to come up with a list.
Okay, can I give you 5 minutes?
Wait,
Yes.
PFT, you just
Okay.
we recorded something earlier. France hasn't even won yet.
Correct. France is going to win today.
Dude,
We recorded Planet Football, and I said that France was going to be playing Argentina. Dude, FIFA's rigged, Hank. They want it to be Messi against Mbappe for a passing of the torch game. Messi and Mbappe, you know what club team they both play for? Paris Saint-Germain. You know who owns Paris Saint-Germain?
The Emir?
The Emir does. Like literally, the Qatari government owns their club team.
dude, 7 of the 13
Hakimi
alive
plays for them,
Supreme
too.
Court justices are Irish.
Yeah.
That's
You know what?
Aren't you Irish, Billy?
yeah, but I'm trying to convince anti-Semites that they should really hate the Irish.
I'm with Billy on this one. I think
They're
Billy-
everywhere.
I actually think Billy's
No one
on
wants
something.
to fuck with the Irish.
I started off.
Well, look at what happened at Kanye should start
Unless
going
you're
after
like
the
a
Irish.
plague.
Yeah, no, they'll plague you up real good. They'll meet you on the street. They'll
Do you
beat you
think,
with a
do you think the
shillelagh.
Irish are oppressing all the non-Irish by making them drink all their alcohol? Think about it.
Yo,
Think about it.
Think about it.
So they
all the Irish pubs everywhere.
So the Irish introduced like beer and drinking culture into the United States to keep people down, to
Yeah.
keep working class people down,
Yeah.
so that they could all get addicted to alcohol, while
Yeah.
the real Irish people at the top
They
advanced up the
advanced.
levels.
That's
Dude,
definitely
Billy's-
what they did.
I was saying that Billy was wrong at the start of this. Billy's fucking right.
yeah.
That's
Go
a
Irish.
giant conspiracy. Go Irish.
Our president is Irish currently.
Oh, proudly Irish.
Yeah, Irish.
Joe Biden's Irish.
Yeah,
he's so Irish. It's so funny. Like when they asked Joe Biden a question about England, who's like been our staunchest ally for I don't know, like 200 years. He'll always make sure to throw in a dig like he hates British people because he's so Irish. That's how old school Irish he is.
What's that beef? Tell me what's going on with
it goes way back.
England subjugated the entire island of Ireland for centuries. Did some pretty nasty things to them.
They like manufactured famines. Like a lot of the stuff they did to most of their colonies, but the Irish they get a lot of because there's so many around, they're trying to play up this famine thing, and we don't even know if it's real. Was the potato famine real? Was the potato famine real? Did they actually get oppressed, or was it like the media, like the Matt Damons and everyone in the media who's Irish pushing that?
I have my top 5.
Okay. All right. Let's
Irish?
go.
Top 5
let's let Big T cook.
American chain restaurants. Number 1, far and away Chili's. Just an elite establishment. I'll tell you what, though. Joe's gotten to him. Went to Chili's in Nashville over Thanksgiving. The 3 for $10 is now like 3 for $13.99.
That's bullshit.
I was floored.
That's bullshit.
Almost got up and walked out. Number 2, Yard House. Another incredible place. Just everything you could ever want. If you're huge into beers, they have more beers than you could ever imagine. Great menu. The TV setup, fantastic. Just a great vibe.
So it's funny that's your second highest ranked restaurant, considering you don't drink beer.
I drink beer every once in a while with the fellas.
Yeah, but but Yard House is explicitly a restaurant.
Pull your balls out when you drink with the fellas?
I do not do that, but they have Angry Orchard on draft, and you can get it in a gigantic cup, which rocks.
Hey, Kai, there was some dude when Barstool tweeted that shit yesterday. There was some dude underneath there, and he said, "Fucking Arian," acting like he's never heard of that before, and I was like, "What?" That shit took me back. Like this is a known thing. I thought this was just like a select. Y'all do this a lot? Like y'all take your balls out and drink?
I had never heard of that either.
It's an important part of our culture, Arian.
It's sad. Like dude was like acting like he's never heard of that before. Like, bro, I've never heard of beer drinking and balls out.
You do ridiculous stuff to distract the opposing team in beer pong when it gets down to the final cup, because it's very hard to hit the final cup, and that little bit of distraction can go a long way.
It's also just like good vibes, you know?
Okay.
When your ball out, everyone has a good laugh.
Because it's like, what, is that a ball or his penis? And it's like, oh, it's a ball.
Number 3, Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah, okay.
That's a good one.
Great spot. Similar to O'Charlie's, great rolls.
The rolls at O'Charlie's are really, really good.
Oh,
so buttered. Yeah.
I take a bag home. Number 4, I don't know how national this is. I think it's a pretty national. Cheddar's.
Okay.
Y'all been to Cheddar's?
Yeah, Cheddar's is good.
Never seen a Cheddar's in my life.
Very good spot.
It's very rich food. It's like heavy. You leave Cheddar's and you're warm.
Yeah, yes, that's a great way to describe it, but very good. Good atmosphere in Cheddar's as well. And rounding out the top 5, O'Charlie's.
Okay.
I thought O'Charlie's would be top 3-ish, but then I started making the list.
No Outback on there.
What's O'Charlie's?
Longhorn was almost 5, but O'Charlie's had to be in there. So Longhorn, Outback, those are top 10 for sure.
Okay. Jeff D. Lowe is going to have your ass for that.
Jeff D. Lowe loves Outback. I respect a man who has such an affinity for an American chain restaurant.
Yeah, it happens to be like an Australian American chain restaurant.
That's true. Jeff D. Lowe to Outback Steakhouse is me to Chili's and Yard House.
Got it.
Yard House is a very close second.
I feel like if someone was visiting New York and asked Big T for like a recommendation, like a normal person would say like Peter Luger's or something like that. Big T would be like, you got to get your ass to Yard House.
My friends were in town this weekend, and I tried to get us to go to Yard House, and we didn't go.
Did you do it like as a joke, like, haha, we could go to Times Square?
Yeah, kind of like guys, who's great. Because we wanted to watch, I forget what game it was, but we wanted somewhere that we could watch a game, and I was like, fellas, the thing I love about the Times Square Yard House, it's in the most, like, it is impossible to forget where you are when you're in Times Square, but the restaurant's so big, you almost forget for a minute that you're in New York, and I love that.
Yeah.
The upstairs is perfect ambiance, TVs everywhere. They got projectors in there. brewskis with the fellas. It's just a great time.
That's the thing about New York restaurants is because space is at such a premium here and it's so expensive. They're all super tiny.
Right.
So you end up sitting right next to somebody.
Yes.
You feel like if you're ever on a date, you feel like you're sharing a table with the couple that's right next to you. It's really strange. But I agree with you. It's nice when you go to a big place.
Yes.
And you're able to like look across the restaurant. You're like, I feel like I'm in the suburbs right now.
Correct. You get it.
Yep. That's nice. I've done that move, by the way, Too Big Tea, where you like jokingly suggest something.
Guys, it'd be crazy. Like,
yeah. I do that with karaoke sometimes.
We were supposed to go to karaoke Saturday night.
I haven't been to karaoke in years, but
There's a great karaoke spot we should go to.
what's it called?
Iggy's on the Upper East Side. It's my favorite place.
Big E's?
Iggy's.
Oh,
Iggys.
Or we could hit K-Town.
K-Town's got some good spots.
K-Town's a great place if you're young because there's
I'm out.
the beers are cheap. Like Times Square.
Food's good.
Yeah, it's like it's not a tourist trap where everything's overpriced. You can really have fun in K-Town.
I used to like once every 9 or 10 months, like 12:30 a.m. rolls around. You've had maybe 3 drinks at this one bar, thinking about moving on. Where should we go next? Karaoke's right around the corner. Haha.
I'm on a once a month, once every 3 weeks.
Whoa, that's way too much karaoke.
Whoa, you are an addict.
I'm usually not singing karaoke though. It's like all of the producers here love this place. And so we all usually go together and it's like 20 Barstool people. And so I usually don't even end up singing. It's the camaraderie of it all.
But you
I
go,
love it.
so you get dragged along.
Not dragged. I go willingly. But sometimes, or the line to sing is so long that sometimes you just don't. By the end of the night, you're like,
Have you sung here in New York?
Yes.
What do you sing?
I sang One Headlight with a producer, Kevin Zuppi.
That's a good song.
And I also sang with Ebo, another great producer here, Dixieland Delight.
Okay.
That was right after Tennessee. I was in my
favorite Alabama song.
Yeah, it was in my VFL phase or VFL era, which is never leaving. But I was really into the Tennessee thing at the time, and so I was like, let's sing Dixieland Delight.
So I encourage you to keep going on this karaoke kick that you're on. Yeah. However, I'm just letting you know, like you do entirely too much karaoke. Yeah. But you're gonna burn out on it super fast. Like no,
but I'm not the one doing it.
You're basically a musician.
I was going to say we should do karaoke to entertain the clients on January 26th. Get your tickets now.
At Tony Hall.
But you like, it's too much.
You know what? We could bring a karaoke machine to the live show.
Yeah.
And we could do a hat game where we've got like 6 songs written down, put into the hat, and we have to draw them at various points in the show.
Just
whatever song you pull out, you have to perform. What would be the best one? Slob on My Knob by 3 6 Mafia.
Life is a Highway is my go-to.
Yeah, well, Billy, we're not doing go-tos here. We're doing
Mr. Brightside's a white people classic
for clients.
Wait, hold on. Are you guys coming to this live show shit right now?
We're just
the tickets are on sale, dude.
No, I'm talking about the karaoke shit.
Are you down for that? I mean, we performed
during the live show.
Yeah.
We'll just pick out of a hat, and whoever pulls it has to do it.
Remember, we tried doing.
Oh yeah.
No. If you do this, everyone has to do it.
All right, fuck it.
My vote is for no, but if we do it, everyone has to do it.
How about we do this? Take a poll about for the live show if they want to sit up there and watch us sing karaoke. That's because they might not want to see that.
Yeah, that might be more fun for us.
Yeah, we could. Do it.
So ask them. And then if they want to see it, I'll check.
We can do it after when we're entertaining clients too.
Yeah, so live show tickets on sale now. They're going fast. I think we have 4 more tickets left. There's 4 tickets left. So you can buy.
Are you kidding me?
You can buy. Yeah, I know it's crazy.
What?
There are 4 tickets left. We're trying to get. Dude, do you know anything about the live event business, Billy? The last 4 tickets are the hardest ones to sell.
Damn. Fuck.
So we got 4 more left.
And you can't buy 1 or 3, only 2 or 4. So if you're a single, you're SOL already.
Sorry, yeah, like we've already sold out of all our single tickets. So we can do parties of 2. We can accommodate.
You can maybe go check just to see if some have shown up.
But yeah, on the secondary market, they relist those sometimes. Yeah. But as of this morning, 4 tickets left.
Can my mom even come?
No.
Oh shit. Damn it.
No, she can't.
Yeah, she good.
Mrs.
Yeah,
Football
she
can
good.
come.
She good.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
My mom's coming.
All right,
You got her a
moms. All
ticket?
moms. I'm
It's
officially
mad dog.
saying all moms are welcome. I love moms. I do.
Me too.
Moms are great.
You guys love, we know. You guys love them in very different ways.
Yeah.
We know damn well you
Matter
like
of
your
fact,
moms.
matter of fact, if you buy tickets, bring your mom.
You know what? We might do
And
mom
stop by and
awards.
Say hello afterwards.
Yeah, I was
I'm
gonna
down.
say if you bring your mom, there's a good chance you'll get VIP
Are we
backstage.
gonna have a mom contest?
Yeah, I think we're
Gonna bring all the moms on stage.
we might do the coolest mom. How about that? Coolest mom contest. Arian will not be judging the coolest mom contest. We'll be judging the hottest mom contest.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm about to say hater vibes, man. What you mean?
We do love moms. I'm gonna go see my mom in a couple weeks. Excited about that.
Oh, I can't wait. Mom's coming down. She's about to throw down for Christmas. I've been on it. Christmas abs. I didn't get there. I know we relocated to Super Bowl abs, but the last 3 weeks I have been grinding it. So it's like, I'm almost down. I'm like 6 pounds from my playing weight right now.
Whoa.
And I've been grinding. Yeah, I've been grinding. But it's different though too. You know what I'm saying? Like I had a lot more muscle mass, but still I'm slimming down. I'm slimming way down, feeling way better. Can't wait. I'm about to put it all right back on in Christmas, but it's only gonna be a couple days. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna binge. Definitely gonna binge eat for sure.
Yeah. So, how are you doing on the Christmas?
I've also
abs?
been grinding.
Same.
Since I got the flu, actually totally erased the Thanksgiving deficit.
Yeah.
Been just doing cardio, boxing, and eating clean.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually working out real well.
I got back on the Peloton. I've been doing a lot of running, and it's weird because I hate running. Running is the worst exercise. I fucking can't stand it. I get so bored, but I also get, in a weird way, like addicted to it because when I do it, I feel like I've really accomplished something at the end because I hate it so much. Does that make sense?
It's also, in my opinion, the easiest exercise to do
Oh, yeah.
because it's all about just like getting out of the house.
You just run.
Yeah, and I have a dog. Like I've trained my dog to run with me, and it is the most beautiful thing on earth.
Do you
It's
look at
just
it like you're its pack leader and it's following you?
No. I think of it as more like we're on a simulated hunt and we're like chasing something together, and we don't know what we're chasing, but we just have a bond through exercising together.
And when you get back, you look at each other and you can tell your dog's looking at you like, great job. That was awesome.
Yeah, we're like we did it.
Yeah.
like at the end,
Billy goes on a lot of adventures, I've realized. Like you and your dog, when you do this, you're just on an adventure together.
Oh yeah, we don't know what we know. There's a stretch at the end, and that's when we sprint. And he knows as soon as he turns the corner on the block, like we're going hard, and we push each other. Like sometimes he slows up, and I got energy. Then he has energy when I'm slowing up, and it's just like an awesome symbiosis.
I got a question. This is for everybody. But just hearing Billy talk and hearing Big T talk earlier, I got a question. Because y'all don't really like the city like that, right? So you win the lottery. You are $50 million in the bank, liquid. Where do you set up shop? Like, where are you like, this is where I want to call home?
I go straight to
Nashville.
Bank of America and ask where the rest of my money is because I was a lot wealthier yesterday. Right, Big T?
Probably.
That's a good question. Big T, you said Nashville?
Nashville, for sure.
Nashville, anywhere in the world, you go to Nashville.
Yeah, dude, Nashville's the best.
All right.
Maybe, honestly, I might, maybe like East Tennessee, maybe Knoxville. Get like
a house
get
on the
like
lake.
a big cabin up in the mountains. Because then you're
With you.
close. Yes, maybe East Tennessee.
You gotta go
Okay.
2 spots, but like in close succession. You gotta have like if you're that rich, you gotta go like place with a lot of space and an apartment that you can get to easily. I mean, if you're 50 million isn't like private helicopter money, helipad on the top of the building to go to and from your 2 houses, but like that would be the sweet spot.
Yeah, but the question was one spot. That's kind of the whole premise of it. It's like you have to pick one.
I know the spot.
You're not gonna tell us?
I'm not gonna tell you. It's in New York.
I
It's
go to
in
New
New York, but it's the perfect distance from the city and in
Bro, where is, like, what is this secret?
Billy has to make everything so weird.
it's in between
Just say
the Hudson
just
and
answer the
Connecticut
question.
border.
Why can't you just answer a question like a hypothetical question? Where would you want to live?
It's not even like you live here. It's a mythical.
I actually know exactly where it is.
Well, it's like I know where I'd be, but like I'm not going to tell you guys.
Let's just say it's in the disputed area between where downstaters and upstaters debate whether it's upstate New York.
Okay. All right. Great. Good answer, Billy.
Great answer, man. Maddie, Avery?
I'd just get a really nice apartment in New York. And then probably like a lake house somewhere. Maybe
50 million, you're getting an average apartment in New York.
It's not true.
No.
That is a nice, but that's all your money gone.
No, you can get a good apartment, like a place that you would be comfortable living in for
like 10 million
or less than that, probably.
Yeah,
like,
well,
you can get a nice spot for $1 million, I bet.
It depends if you want one of those.
Yeah,
you know,
singular.
Look up.
No chance.
New York real estate, $1 million.
You know
$1 million gets me like my apartment that I live in, which is not.
Do you know the fuck you money middle fingers that are right around Central Park? Those giant towers. They're some of the most expensive
like
apartments.
Billionaire Row.
I think, but they're
like 432 Park.
People refer to them. No, but like the new ones, they're called like the middle fingers, like fuck you money, and they're just these tall, skinny apartment towers.
Like that.
Yeah, but they're not. They're new, but those ones have like brand new modern apartments and like tons of amenities that are like the best apartments in New York from a view standpoint, amenity standpoint, and location standpoint. And I'm pretty sure those go for like 50 million each. They're owned by like tons of like
oligarchs
and stuff, but they have insane views of Central Park.
No, I'd live on the Upper West Side and yeah, and come to work every day still.
I think I would move. I need somewhere with a beach if it's my only spot.
You just move to the shore year round.
Yeah, just move down to Asbury Park.
Yeah,
just hang out at the beach all year round. No, it would probably be somewhere warm year round. So I'm thinking. You know what? It might even be New Orleans.
What?
I love New Orleans. New Orleans. So here's my dilemma
Mincy.
that I constantly have with New Orleans. It's my favorite city in the United States, but I don't know if I'd be able to live there.
Yeah. It's got to be a visit place.
It's a great visit place. It's my favorite place to visit by far. I don't know if it would be too much for me to live there. And I'm not talking about like the boozing all the time, all that. Just like it's a lot. New Orleans is a lot to deal with. Now there's cool neighborhoods and stuff. The food is tremendous, but again, like I'd probably get fat down there. But New Orleans would be towards the top of my list. I would say New Orleans, and then maybe San Diego.
Yeah, shit lit.
San Diego's a great city.
Me and a shorty going to Mardi Gras this year. You trying to come down?
You want to get on a float? I got a guy.
You got a Mardi Gras float guy?
We do.
I got a guy we could get on a float.
We've got the Mardi Gras float guy.
Macrodosing does Mardi Gras? What's popping?
I got a guy. He just he's my neighbor. He just moved out.
Arian, do you remember by any chance Goal France?
Oh,
called it.
This game's over.
This game is over. Do you remember the guy that did the science fair project about how to grow a game?
Bro, no.
Yeah, college baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's our Mardi Gras guy.
That's the Mardi Gras guy.
Yep.
Let's get it in.
Okay. When is Mardi Gras?
March something.
Fat Tuesday.
Thank you for the translation.
By the way, $1 million gets you a 500 square foot apartment on Wall Street.
How much?
$1 million.
That's not great.
Yeah,
you gotta be honest.
And
with
it's
you.
like a pretty average looking place.
That's not a great apartment.
No.
But you know what? You take that one.
Or several places like deep into Brooklyn, Queens,
Bushwick.
Okay, Mardi Gras is on Tuesday, February 21st, 2023. That is, I think that's the day after President's Day.
Sounds like it.
I would like to go to Mardi Gras. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go. We do record part of my take. We should do part of my take from Mardi Gras. I mean, that'd be wild.
Yeah.
That's an optimal.
Party Gras.
Yeah.
Wow, Billy, good one.
Marty, my take. I'll work on that. But New Orleans is probably up there. San Diego. Arian, you know San Diego is like the most beautiful place in the world. It's like perfect.
Gorgeous. Amazing.
Avery, what about you?
I like where I'm at right now. Bergen County, New Jersey. Great houses up there. Just buy a sick house, man. Some big land. Big plot of land.
$50 million. You wouldn't live anywhere else?
No. The restaurants where I live are unreal. Like, you don't really need to branch out that much. And there's a lot of places with enough land. You could build a big house.
Arturo's
is great. Yeah. I mean, just ask Large. He loves living where he's at, and he's a couple towns over from me.
What about the fact that, well, I guess you probably don't mind the cold because you've been here your entire life.
Yeah, no, not at all. I actually enjoy the fact that I get all 4 seasons, and I'm close to the city. There's really nothing else that I could really ask for.
Okay, so let's switch this up and say it can't be in the United States. $50 million, you have to leave the country.
Ooh.
Where do you go?
Huh. That's a good one.
I think I'm going to go to New Zealand.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
I might go to Greece.
Edinburgh, I think.
Edinburgh.
I love it there.
How many times have you been there?
Just once, but I liked it a lot.
Really?
I'd like to go back.
Where's Edinburgh?
Scotland.
That's north. Have you ever been there during the winter?
No, I have not. I've just been there during the summer.
it's-
I was there during Brexit.
I knew kids who went to St. Andrews in Scotland as a college that's like super cheap relative to American colleges. So I had a bunch of friends who went over there. And they're like, in the summer it's nice, and it's where the St. Andrews course is, and it's right near Edinburgh. But turns out during like, they're close enough to the Arctic Circle that
The winters are brutal.
your whole like your day cycles get so messed up because it's so dark all the time. You need like vitamin D supplementation, like people go to tanning beds.
Looks wise, Edinburgh is beautiful. Yeah. I mean, I was just there last year. It's unbelievable. The whole town is insane, but the food is
I'll go Edinburgh during summer and then winter in like Monaco.
That's nice. Well, actually, I don't know how nice Monaco is.
Monaco's kind of...
George Soros lives there, I think.
I'm sure he's got a place there.
He lives in not Scarsdale. He lives in he lives up in Westchester.
Like Terrytown.
He's got several
he doesn't live
places.
in Terrytown. He lives
in Alphabet City.
Where does he live?
He lives on Avenue D.
No, I think he literally, because that's where they sent the pipe bomb, which we'll get into later.
Yeah. So Mad Dog, when you went to Scotland, did you do the tour and touch the dog's nose?
No. Yes, I did. I did touch the dog's nose.
Yeah.
And I did the tour of the cemetery where J.K. Rowling got all the names for Harry Potter and all that kind of stuff. I really liked it there. I thought it was awesome.
You did like the big underground tour?
Not underground. We stayed above ground.
Okay.
But
there's a crazy underground in Edinburgh, and it's from like hundreds and hundreds of years ago when people didn't have apartments there, and they actually lived like in the sewers and underground. If you were poor, that's where you lived.
Oh, God.
Wild tour.
Soros lives in Katona, New York, which is like the funniest like village in Westchester to me, because it's like, why would you live there if you were that big of a billionaire?
I already lives in Midtown.
He lives at the Yard House in Times Square.
No, he actually lives in
I'll catch him there.
He lives in the penthouse suite of Margaritaville. At the very top, it's the Soros suite.
Easy access to the Yardie.
Yeah.
Right across the street.
Yardie party.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. That's a famous Soros quote. He's introducing legislation. He's funding legislation to make it 5 o'clock in his particular building year round, all the time. Rocking Hawaiian shirts, just digging it. I would live in the Galapagos.
I was going to say going to an island with a lot of money like that would be sick, like Aruba or St. Martin. Yeah. Galapagos is great. Any island that you have that much money, build a sick house.
The problem with Galapagos is they don't let you live there. They don't let you move there. You have to either be born into a family that lives there, or you have to marry somebody that's in a family that lives there. So that's tough.
Looks like you're getting all wifed up.
It looks like I'm gonna have to there should be like a dating app just for people from Galapagos.
There definitely is.
Yeah.
And New Zealand's like that too, ain't it?
New Zealand, they make it difficult to move there. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure actually,
I'm a little New Zealand cougar. I'm gonna make it happen.
I think Soros was actually, I think he's opened up those borders.
He's opened up every border.
Yeah, that's his philosophy. It's more of a labor supply belief than anything sinister, but we'll get into that later.
Okay, we will get into that later. What about you, Big T? If you had to leave the US of A?
Maybe like Portugal or Spain, somewhere over there near the beach-ish. Maybe
fire. Big T comes back speaking Italiano. That should be fire.
They don't speak that there.
They speak Brazilian and Portugal.
whatever they fucking speak. Did we say Spanish? Oh,
Spanish and Portuguese.
Brazilian.
Maybe just London, America, pre-America.
Well, then you might as well go Canada if you're looking for like America.
No, pre-America.
No. You ever been to Canada?
Not really.
No.
Big T, you get so mad if you lived in London.
But I can't.
And your taxes were going to the royal family.
Yeah, and you better not need a medical procedure. I don't know. See, that's where you get into trouble with all of Europe.
I would the better healthcare.
I want to be like top G and live in Romania.
Yeah, I know England has. I think they're very happy with the NIH over there.
I don't know. You may want to consult with them about that.
Okay. You would have fun in England because it is similar to America in a lot of ways. But yeah, the whole royal family thing. You hate the royal family.
I do
so much. You would be put on a list if you lived over there.
I think a lot of them hate them though.
Yeah, they do. They did get upset with Donnie and I at the World Cup though for dropping Lizzie's in a box on them.
Oh yeah,
the British fans that were over there.
Truth is always a defense.
I watched that whole shit, bro. That shit was hilarious.
The me and Donnie trip to Qatar.
Yeah, why did y'all get non-alcoholic beer? Like, what's the point of that shit?
They didn't serve alcoholic beer. So up until a week before the World Cup started, they said that they were going to have beer served in the stadiums because Qatar is it's a country that has a lot of laws against alcohol and things like that. So they normally don't serve beer unless you're at a resort or a specific place with a very specific license. It's hard to find alcohol. They said for the World Cup they would sell it in the stadiums. They had all the beer stands put in place and all that. And then about a week before the World Cup started, they made an announcement that, sorry, we're not going to be serving beer during the World Cup after all. But you can still buy non-alcoholic beer.
Right. So why get that tastes shitty instead of just getting something that doesn't taste shitty?
Because we wanted to chug some non-alcoholic beers.
Get psychologically drunk.
Yeah. So exactly. Thank you, Billy.
Pavlov.
The thing I was curious about, because you said y'all was on cardboard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cardboard, aka LSD.
Yes.
And it to me, you couldn't have taken a lot, right? It was almost like a microdose because it felt like you were all the way there and all the way into the game rather than like in your own world.
Yeah, I took, I think, a small dose. I didn't know how much to take because I'd never taken it before. And so I trusted Donnie. Donnie was like, take a little bit. It was essentially like a half dose that I ended up taking. But also at the same time, I was very paranoid about, I was going into the experience in a bad state of mind already because I was like a little bit nervous about doing acid in Qatar. And then I was nervous about just being in the stadium with all these unfamiliar people and in a place where I didn't know how to get out of. So it was a bad location to try it, but I was just like, you know what? You want to guarantee that this video will get views? Well, how about you do acid in Qatar? So I took just a little bit, but you're right. I probably didn't take enough to really fuck myself up. I just ended up getting like very paranoid, very sweaty, and like a little bit distracted by lights and things.
Ooh, that's dope.
Yeah.
Congrats.
By the way, message came out that Grant Wall had a torn aorta.
Yeah, blood vessel in his heart.
So foul play has been.
Yeah, according to the medical examiner and his wife, foul play has been ruled out, which is crazy coincidence that it happened to him and happened to him over there. After everything that had happened that week, like wow. But this
will not satisfy the conspiracy theorists.
This is why we wait for all the facts to come out regarding things.
A little nanobot.
A nanobot. I don't even know. Like a little robot.
Little robots crawling through your veins.
They said that could have produced some of the symptoms, the pressure on his chest that he was feeling, that got diagnosed as bronchitis. That symptom could have been presented by the heart, by the blood vessel leaking and building up pressure in his chest. Just crazy timing for all that. Really, like his entire life, he
didn't have no pre-existing. Like that's what I'm saying. He didn't know pre-existing. Nothing?
No.
Just
no.
Sheesh.
Yeah, just crazy timing. So I guess like it's not a good thing, but it's better than the alternative of finding out that he was poisoned by somebody. but I'm sure that won't shut everybody up about it. But yeah, he is. That report came out today.
I guess it makes them look bad to do this too, but why wouldn't Qatar come out and say like, we had absolutely nothing to do with this?
Maybe because they didn't want to like even draw attention to that fact.
Yeah, but I mean, that was cat's out of the bag.
Yeah.
Well, not to them.
I guess it doesn't make them look good to say that.
Right.
But
it's like the old...
That was a no-win. That was a no-win situation.
Right.
Like,
the old
no-win.
Political thing, like if you can get your opponent to say, I've never fucked a pig,
right,
then you've beaten them because they're talking about how they haven't fucked a pig. You know?
Yeah.
So that's probably not the best analogy to use in this situation, but it's kind of similar. Like if they had made a statement, all that would have happened would have been people would have ducked on it and been like, oh, well, I don't believe this.
Yeah.
So I guess it's good news. A couple other things. George Bush. It's the anniversary of George Bush ducking the shoe that got thrown at him in Iraq. You guys remember that?
Elite athleticism.
Follow him on Twitter. That guy that threw that shoe.
Cat-like reflexes. What is he saying to that? Is he commemorating the occasion?
Oh, you know what's his name? I'm gonna look him up.
I don't know.
I haven't seen him tweet for a while. Well, I mean, I didn't. It was a long time ago. I haven't seen him tweet anything because my shit is chronological now, so it just pops in. Sometimes I just miss people's tweets.
It was
his name?
He missed him by like a couple inches. Couldn't have been more than like 2 or 3 inches. And Bush just ducked right out of the way. Missed the second one. He blocked the second one, right?
Very Big T high noon-esque.
Yeah, been there, pal.
Yeah.
Me, George W. Verbal meme. Got to watch on YouTube.
Got to watch it. Yeah, got to check it out. Big T, you hear any rumors around the office?
I've heard a couple.
How are you feeling about them?
It's fine. Who cares? It is what it is.
Yeah.
I guess it'll be, by the time the show comes out, it'll be out, right?
I would think so.
I don't want to take that chance, though.
Okay.
It might not be.
All right.
But yeah, there's some rumors.
There's a ton of rumors out there.
I think it'll be pretty clear what we're talking about probably by the time the show comes out.
People are talking, but you're fine with whatever happens?
Yeah, whatever.
You've always been like that, though. Like, there's not a lot.
I come to work, I go home.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
There's not a lot that can happen in Big T's life that'll throw him off his routine. Big T handles his business regardless of what other people are doing.
For the most part.
9 hours ago, his name is Muntazar El Zahidi. Zaidi? I know I butchered that. My apologies, brother. He tweeted this video. I can't get it translated. 9 hours. He tweeted this video of him throwing that shit.
I mean, say what you want about W, but he's on camera performing under the brightest of lights on 2 huge occasions. One is ducking the shoe barely, and then 2, the first pitch at that Yankees Mets game that was right down.
Threw the shit out of that.
Yeah.
He threw the shit out of that. Yeah,
he's got
his was better than you seen 50 Cents?
Yeah,
he might have had the worst pitch of all time, bro.
That was pretty bad. Fauci also had a really bad one.
Shocker.
I never see Fauci.
You should look up Fauci right now.
Okay, let me check out Fauci.
Look at that first pitch. It's just a bit outside. Did you ever get to throw a first pitch in Houston?
Nah, I never really. I don't think I'm famous enough.
I disagree. You're probably top 3 Houston Texan of all time.
Easily. There's one in the Mariners jersey and a red in Washington's. Which one?
The
is
Washington one.
Washington.
Then he watched the game unmasked. Crazy.
That was an all-time picture where he like took his mask down to like take a sip of water, and then Frank flipped the fuck out.
No, I believe he watched the game without wearing a mask.
If he did that, that's ridiculous.
I'm almost certain.
Because he was like one of the only. They only allowed like 5,000 fans into the stadium.
No, it was nobody.
It was just
it was, but there were people around him in like his box. He had like a couple people with him. But that season, it was because it was 2020, I believe.
Yeah, it was like right in the thick of it.
Yeah, there were no fans.
If he watched the entire game unmasked, that's ridiculous.
I believe that's the case.
I think I remember what you're talking about. I think he had taken his mask down to like have a drink and probably say a few words to the person next to him, and they caught him. But you have to be smart on that if you're Fauci. You have to that thing's got to be glued to your face when you're in public.
Bruh. Hey, his shit was better than 50s, dog.
You think so?
Yeah, man. Go look at 50s again.
50s was pretty bad.
Carly Rae Jepsen had a really terrible one also.
I think we could get you throwing a first pitch for the Houston Astros, Arian.
I'm down. Definitely down.
Because
the season over, though, ain't it?
Yeah, it's over. They won the World Series. I think it would be like you, J.J. Watt, and then probably
Andre Johnson.
Andre Johnson.
Trey is the city, man.
Yeah. You think Hopkins is on that list?
Easily, man. He's loved here. I just think that whole situation, he should have stayed. That shit's still kind of wild how he left. But yeah, he's easily up there.
So would you put yourself ahead of DeAndre Hopkins, greatest Texans of all time?
I don't do hierarchies, man. I just if you like it, you like it.
You're definitely on the Mount Rushmore of Texans, but you said yourself easily top 3.
Look at that.
Shut up.
There he is.
Yeah, there's old Fauci.
Rules for thee, not me.
There's old Fauci.
Is that his mask down?
Yeah, around his chin diaper.
Now, was that just
He's not drinking water either. He's laughing, yucking it up.
okay?
Am I wrong?
I don't know. I can't see.
You can't.
More often than not.
I can't see if he's got a water.
I got kicked out of a Yankee game.
No water. Look at his hands. Look at his hands.
Okay.
I'll zoom in for
I'm
you.
gonna bring it up.
I'll send you the link.
Okay. All right. So there's a couple other things I wanted to talk about today. Maybe you guys could explain this to me. I know no one here on the show is from Los Angeles. We don't really have any representation from that part of the country. But have you guys been paying attention to the P-22 saga?
This is the first I've heard of this.
Oh, the cougar?
Yeah.
Yeah, the cougar that was living amongst the hills,
Yeah.
like in disturbing people's animals. And
so
stuff.
P-22 is a mountain lion. There's lots of mountain lions in Southern California.
Catamount. Mountain lion, catamount, puma, cougar, all the same thing.
Catamount is the same?
Yep.
Catamount, what Division I school mascot?
Oh, come on, Billy.
I don't know.
I bet you know this.
Yeah.
It's not Washington State.
Nope.
It's not. They are the Cougars.
PFT, you know it?
I do.
What is it?
It's
San Diego State?
No, Aztecs.
I'm gonna say the wrong one.
Oh, so you don't
No,
know?
I've got narrowed down to 2, and they're very similar places.
What are the 2?
Vermont, New Hampshire.
Nope.
No?
Actually,
Middlebury.
Vermont might be also. No, Vermont is the...
University of Vermont.
Vermont Catamounts.
Oh, they are too?
Yeah.
Okay. The one, yes, they are. Western Carolina is also.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I knew Vermont because of Jake, but then at the last second, I was doubting myself, and I was thinking, New Hampshire is that where? That's where.
Yeah, Vermont is
Russillo
also.
went.
Yeah, there's 2. I forgot about that.
Okay, so they're the Wildcats. But anyways, P-22. P-22 is a cougar, mountain lion, that is, it's native to Southern California. It was born in the Santa Monica Hills. And as cougars age, as they become like a year old, they leave their parents, they leave their family, and they have to go out and establish their own territory to roam and to hunt on.
Yeah.
So it left... It went off, and it actually ended up crossing over the 405 and the 101.
Yeah.
Which is crazy that a cougar was able to cross those 2 busy highways, like 2 of the busiest highways in America, if not the world. So it crossed those highways, and it got into the Griffith Park.
It's those hills behind the Hollywood sign.
Yeah.
That's where he ended up living in the Hollywood Hills.
Yeah, he currently lives in the Hollywood Hills where they have the Hollywood sign.
He doesn't currently.
Well, yeah, but I'm gonna get to it. He's in the Hollywood Hills, and he became like an unofficial mascot for Los Angeles because it was by far the smallest environment that a cougar had ever established as its home ground. I think it's like just a few square miles, and normally they need like 100 or 200 square miles to roam as their territory. So it was able to hunt. It was killing coyotes. It was killing all sorts of like large rodents that were in those locations. and it lived there for about 10 years. At one point, this cougar's kind of a G. It snuck into the Los Angeles Zoo, and it ate a koala.
That's wild.
It ate like an elderly koala, and they found like the missing body parts of the koala, and they were trying to figure out what's going on, like what ate it. And they check out the surveillance footage on the zoo, and you see P22, this mountain lion, just like prowling around. And so it had this collar on. It was tagged, so you could watch where it was located, where it was rolling around, and it was this fucking banging on these pipes, or it's ridiculous.
It's not the pipes; it's the people. It's the guys outside.
Anyways, this animal became like a mascot for Los Angeles. People would see it. It would like roam through people's backyards occasionally, and it never hurt anyone. It never attacked any pets.
Oh no! It killed several chihuahuas and house animals. That was the thing. The reason it killed a bunch of rich people who live in the Hollywood Hills pets and would be spotted in their backyards.
I thought it didn't kill any chihuahuas until like 2 weeks ago.
Let me check.
Yeah, because my understanding was that people didn't really have that many encounters. They would see it occasionally, or it would pop up on trail cams, but it coexisted in an urban environment in Los Angeles, which is what made P22 like such a beloved cat. And
2 recent attacks on
Billy, I'm getting there. You keep derailing the story here. So this cougar lived there for like 10 years, and then a few weeks ago, somebody called in and said that they saw it like get hit by a car, and ever since then it's been acting like in distress. It ate a lady's chihuahua, and it attacked another small dog while somebody was out taking their dog for a walk. Then the person like got into a fight with a cougar and scared it away. So now animal control got brought in. They were able to track it, and they tranquilized it, and they're doing a medical evaluation on it, and they're saying they might have to end up euthanizing it because maybe it has some like head trauma, or maybe it just got too old. And people are flipping the fuck out about the fact that they tranquilized this cougar and that they might kill it. And at that point, I'm like, okay, I get that people love this animal, but it's a fucking mountain lion that's like prowling through your backyard. It's starting to attack pets and going around humans all the time. I'm pretty sure that's probably the right time to get it out of that situation, right?
I'm shocked they're having this problem in Los Angeles.
Yeah. I mean, people there, so I figured this is like the most common sense take that I could have, but just watch out, because people that are from Los Angeles love this fucking mountain lion so much that they will say like, no, we care more about this mountain lion than 2,000 dead chihuahuas.
I believe that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely going to divide the community. But the thing is, this cat, there's scary ring videos of it. People are jogging and the cat's like right, like it's so fascinating how cougars can hide and be so close to you in the woods and you have no idea.
Yeah.
And they're responsible for tons of deaths in national parks of just killing people and disappearing children. Like when they talk about like missing 411 of everyone who goes missing in the national parks, a lot of them are cougar deaths, because cougars will literally, they're apex predators. They'll be up in a tree and jump out of the tree and rip your jugular and totally paralyze you and kill you before you have any chance of knowing that it just came from above.
Yeah.
And the thing is, there's ring videos of P22. People are jogging in a suburban LA Hills type area, and P22 is just right there and is literally 2 feet away from people in bushes, and you can see it on the ring video.
And they don't know.
And they have no idea.
P22, what a horrible name. Like, why?
They probably
Panther
named it
22.
They probably named it using some sort of like designated alphanumeric system to give like a code and a location to it or something stupid like that. If they really want to save this thing's life, they would give it a cool name.
I mean, it's Beverly Hills also.
Like, what if they named it Larry? People would line up for this thing. They'd be like, "Don't kill Larry! Come on, Larry's chill." So the thing about this cougar is it didn't attack. So it was peacefully coexisting with humans for a long time in an urban environment, which is why I think people got like so attached to it. But if it's if it's like starting to attack pets and shit, I feel like that's a no-brainer, right? To be like, okay, this cougar needs to be like put in either a sanctuary or it's probably the end of its life.
Why does the cougar not get to live, but the pets do?
Because
it's an old cougar.
I mean the blunt answer is because like we're humans, and yeah, we did move into its backyard. Like the fact is,
that's what I'm saying. Like why all of a sudden there's some bullshit, honestly.
But would you just like be cool with taking your kids out and walking around knowing that there's a cougar?
I wouldn't do that if there was a cougar running around the city.
You should see. I think I sent some of this Ring video to you guys, but this how close this cougar was to people is insane. Like it was a 12-year-old cougar, and I mean, I guess it was like after it got hit by the car, it was just going after easy pickings.
Yeah. It's a cool looking cat. Don't get me wrong.
The closest thing, the New York equivalent, would probably be pale male. If you guys know the story of pale male, the red-tailed hawk that lived. Yeah. That's a very beloved bird, because all it did was eat squirrels and pigeons.
This guy tweeted, here's how beloved P22 is. He ate a dog, and LA's response was something like, hey, got to keep your head on a swivel.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's something that I'm missing out, I think, about this cougar that makes it so special. Because I feel like most people would see this and be like, all right, let's kill the fucking mountain lion that's in our backyard.
I can promise you this would not be a problem in most parts of the country, particularly the South.
Yeah, what would they do in Tennessee?
He would have been dead many years ago.
They would have gotten...
So this guy's been roaming for years?
Yeah.
They would have gotten cougar hunting dogs. Treeing a cougar is like... It's pretty inhumane if you ever see a video of it.
There's dogs that hunt cougars.
Yeah, they release a pack of dogs to tree a cat, and then once it's treed, they shoot it up the tree.
Yeah,
which which dog hunts the cougar?
Well, like hunting dogs. It's not a specific breed, but I bet they're just sort of your typical group of hounds that finds the cougar and chases the cougar and tries to run away, and then the dogs get to the tree, it runs up.
I haven't seen a good group of hounds in a while.
Yeah.
You don't get too much anymore.
Treeing walker hound.
Treeing walker hound's the best cougar. That's treeing walker hounds. Coon walker. But that's for raccoons.
I would like to get a bloodhound.
Mountain lions.
Huh.
Oh, here you go. Hold on. Best dog breed. This is what Google says. I don't know shit about dogs.
It's definitely the best for treeing anything, but I feel like a cougar would mess one of those up.
I also just like the verb treeing. Is that a verb, to tree something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm going to tree that thing over there. It just means put it up a tree. It's a great verb.
I've recently discovered the verb wintering, which you're probably familiar with, given your net worth.
Yeah.
People use winter as a verb when they leave their home and go to their vacation home somewhere warmer.
As I do in Key West,
right,
each year.
PFT summers also.
I do summers
on the shore.
Summer in New Jersey. Yeah.
What was the last thing I was going to say about this cat? What if this cat was eating homeless people? And just we had no idea.
Man, they'd be in a pickle then.
Well, no, but seriously, think about it. What if this cat, like horror movie, this beloved cat, like this would be a good plot. Like this beloved cat was just like eating people.
He's not beloved. He's not beloved.
This cat is beloved, Arian.
Not beloved.
I promise you, he's beloved.
I searched his name, and there's people being like this woman said, P22 has been an icon and beloved Angelino for more than a decade. He must not be hurt for acting as any predator would.
Well, I guess he's beloved. What the fuck?
You know Van Lathan, right, Arian?
Yeah.
All right, so he's had some tweets on the subject. A lot of like hashtag free P, P22, we with you, bro, and then a picture of P22. And then he said, kill P22 when we fucking riot. No bullshit.
Oh, okay. Well, they've got something really else going on.
This cat could have easily been killing homeless people and eating them. We just had no idea.
I mean, yeah, I guess that's a possibility.
Whoa. That's just like it's such a juxtaposition of such an urban problem compared with such a rural predator.
Well, that's what's crazy about Los Angeles in general. It's a relatively new place for people to live, and so anywhere that you build a house, like you're dealing with nature right there.
It was mostly cow country, and then they brought in a bunch of palm trees to make it look more exotic. Palm trees are nowhere close to native to Los Angeles.
Yeah, and there's big parts of the suburban Los Angeles area that are just straight up in the wilderness, like places that were just like almost high desert 20 years ago. There's Malibu. Malibu should not exist. Malibu is like not a place where people should live. I mean, it's a beautiful place and a lot of very
it's like a desert. Shit weird.
But it's weird. It's great right on the coast though, and you got the hills. It's a cool looking spot is all I'm saying. But
all of Los Angeles, honestly, it's like marketed as like this island vibe type paradise, but it's just a desert with an ocean right by it. Like,
and a strain on the water supply.
Yeah.
Sorry I derailed the story earlier. I got obsessive about this story too.
You were learning as we went on with the conversation. But the whole point of P22 is P22 didn't hurt anybody until recently. But now that once a cougar realizes it's a cougar, at that point I'm out. Like you're not Hollywood's pet anymore. But I'm sure that I'll have a bunch of people telling me why I'm wrong. I'm interested to hear like why this mountain lion means so much and why people are saying like this, why there's this outpouring of support for a wild animal.
The vegans. Think about the population. I think Los Angeles probably has the highest vegan population.
But even vegans don't want to walk down the street with a fucking
no. They'd let that thing
man-eating cougar on the loose.
They know they're on stolen land. They're so down to get eaten by a cougar. I think this cougar definitely.
Once it starts fucking with people's kids, though, at that point, like I feel like all vegans will.
There's a lot of crazy people. Why are we reproducing as humans? There's not enough. There's too many humans in the earth. We should be population depopulating.
Who says
like
that?
The cougar's helping.
Cull the herd a little bit.
The depopulists.
I think Louis C.K. was talking about how crazy it would be if there were still like predatory birds that would come down and just swoop people out of the like off the sidewalk occasionally. We have gotten pretty comfortable as human species to not really be hunted by anything.
I mean, bears. You know those like nightmares of you getting chased by a monster? Some people like they think that is generational PTSD from getting chased by a large predator that was probably some sort of bear by our primeval relatives.
Interesting.
Bears, like I just blogged a video of this bear interrupting a wedding by killing a moose in front of the whole wedding. That's got
to be good luck, right?
I would love that. If that happened at my wedding, I'd be like, this is good.
Yeah, it sounds like an old Russian like fable that gets passed down from your grandmother and her grandmother, which is like, it's good luck to have a moose and a bear fight on a wedding day.
Yeah, if the moose gets away, it's a divorce.
You have to start watching. You're like you got to root for the bear in that point. Like the bear wins, then you'll have a long and fruitful marriage. If the moose wins, it was never meant to be.
It was so funny because
dump that bitch. Yeah.
It was so funny because you could tell that this couple was like, oh, we want to have our wedding in nature and like it's all nice in a national park. And then they're just like the raw, true, like nature of nature was there, and they're like, "Oh my god!"
Who wins in that fight, Billy? A hippo or a bear?
I actually have been thinking long and hard about a polar bear versus a hippo, because I think a polar bear is the only thing with the mass and weight to actually put a licking on a hippo. A grizzly, I think, is a little too small and would probably retreat. But like if we had a polar bear going one-on-one with a hippo, I think that would be wishful thinking, post-apocalyptic world. We just like start the Colosseum going again. That would be a number one matchup if I was like the emperor.
I agree. I think those are the two like most vicious animals on the planet, on the land anyway.
Yeah,
I think orcas the best predator in the world, I think.
You know what I learned recently? Orcas kill moose.
How?
Like moose tend to like swim, especially up in Alaska, Newfoundland, all those areas. They swim to islands and cross like into the orcas territory, and orcas will see moose and just take them out. And not only that, they'll breach on shore and take them out of like land if they're drinking like next to the water.
So lit. They're the most fascinating species. Them and octopuses.
Yeah,
they're the most fascinating species. I really think orcas are way smarter than we think they are.
Oh, and they're so smart that they don't eat, like, even though we're in their territory all the time, they'll eat a moose, but they won't eat us because they can either tell that we're intelligent, or they don't like the taste of human.
There's never been an attack.
Right, in the
There's
wild.
never been an orca attack.
And that's crazy, because how can they know that humans don't taste good if there's no recorded?
That's what I'm saying. There's no. I can't figure. There was this one, and I don't believe in none of this shit, but it was just fascinating. There was this one like Native American fable that like had like a pact between humans and orcas, like for a long-standing time, and it was like some spiritual pact that they had with each other, that we had with them, and like I don't believe that shit, but that's wild because like when you think about why they don't attack us, there's really no logical reason. Like we're just food to them, but like maybe they do identify our intelligentsia. I don't know.
Or maybe what if there was like some sort of like.
Well, I can look at an orca and be like, I think that animal would suck to eat. I don't think an orca looks tasty at all.
Do you think like a cow does though?
Yeah, I do.
Really?
Yeah.
But that's only because you know what's inside.
No, I'd know.
Well, why wouldn't a whale taste good? Shark tastes good.
We ate whales all the time.
Yeah.
I actually always wanted to eat a whale steak after reading Moby Dick.
Can I be honest with you? After I said that, I started to think about it. I actually do think that an orca would taste delicious.
You know what's funny?
You're right. I was capping.
There are.
I would eat a whale. Yeah.
It actually.
They probably heard that. Now they're gonna fuck you up next time you're in the ocean.
You know what's crazy?
You know what? You know how whales consume media, Arian?
Probably.
They listen to podcasts.
That's my whale call.
That's a whale laugh.
That's funny.
That's a fucking popsicle joke right there.
Did you just make that up?
Yeah, I mean, actually, Billy's probably said it. I probably heard it somewhere else before, but it just fit right there.
I just sent the group a video of an orca going after a dog. An orca will try to eat a dog.
Really?
Yeah, but it won't try to eat a human.
Man, the Macrodosing group chat has the most disturbing videos ever on it. I wonder what Coley thinks sometimes. He just gets buzzed.
He's got to have it muted.
Yeah. Morocco almost scored the goal of the World Cup right there on a bicycle kick. That would have been incredible. We're going to get into George Soros in a second. Big episode today, but it's going to be brought to you by our great friends over at Game Time. If you're looking to go to any games, football season's wrapping up right now. What a great time to go see football. Some big games. We've got playoff atmosphere. I'm officially declaring it playoff atmosphere in Washington, D.C., Landover, Maryland, this Sunday night. We got the Giants and the Commanders. We got all sorts of great games going on across the NFL, and it's bowl season. Best way to get in is using Game Time. And if you're looking for a gift to get somebody that's usually hard to shop for, highly recommend Game Time. Give the gift of an awesome experience this holiday season with Game Time. If you're nervous that your present won't arrive in time or simply forget to holiday shop, Game Time tickets get delivered to your phone and inbox instantly. Game Time has all the best tickets, and you get an awesome price on them. If you haven't given Game Time a shot yet, now's the time. We've been using Game Time all year. Went to the Mets game, went to some Rangers, Caps games. Billy's been going to Jets games. It's been a great, great experience. Download the Game Time app. They went to, the Tennessee game, Tennessee, Florida. What a time that was. Download the Game Time app, go to the account tab, create your login, and redeem code MACRO. $20 off your first purchase. Some terms apply. It's a great gift to give somebody in your family, and it's super easy to transfer tickets from one account to the other. It's very, very simple for parents to use. They're going to love it. Download Game Time. Last-minute tickets. Lowest price guaranteed.
So, getting into Soros, Sam Bankman-Fried, it was just confirmed that he used customer funds to donate to political campaigns. Mm-hmm. And Sam Bankman-Fried was the second largest contributor of individual donations. He intended to donate 100 million and as much as $1 billion leading up to the 2024 United presidential election. And it's on record that he was the second largest donator after George Soros.
After Soros.
So this is actually pretty. This was just announced.
My
40 million this political cycle he donated. That was second to.
I read that he donated 20 million to Democrats.
He donated to both sides.
Yeah. So my impression of SBF is that he was trying to be the guy that wrote all the laws and regulations around crypto. So he was doing whatever it took to get buddy with politicians, because there's really, it's the Wild West when it comes to crypto right now. And so to be the guy that ended up making all the rules, you have to get in bed and cozy with everybody. And so that was his game plan, which ended up backfiring on him tremendously, because since he was so outwardly trying to be the guy that was in charge of the regulations, all the rest of the crypto community turned on him. And that's what made his competitors take that large leverage stake in his investment property, which ended up tanking his proprietary coin, which ended up making the entire house of cards collapse, because he was selling out the real crypto bros that believed in decentralization and no regulations.
Yeah.
So he was number 2, Soros number 1. George Soros, born in 1930, Billy?
Born in 1930 to a very wealthy Hungarian man. Let me just pull up my notes real quick.
Yeah, so he was born with the last name Schwartz.
Yes.
And his family, he's described his family as being anti-Semitic Jews. Mm. So like they weren't really practicing Jews. They were more like culturally, it was passed down to them, but they weren't what you call like strict, or they weren't adherent for the most part. They didn't take religion super seriously in his family. So much so to the point where he changed his last name from Schwartz, which was the name that their family had, to Soros, because his father was kind of reading the temperature of Eastern Europe at that time, shall we say, and realized that things were going kind of south in terms of the relations and a lot of scapegoating of the Jewish people. So he changed his name to appear less Jewish, make it like less conspicuous that they were a Jewish family in case shit hit the fan, which it ended up actually doing. So changed his name to Soros, which is Esperanto. I think it means like to soar. So yeah, he was Jewish by birth, but kind of his family tried to distance themselves from that a little bit, at least by name.
We'll get into a little bit of his role in, especially that time of being a Jewish person in Europe. But why is George Soros important? Because George Soros is one of the only people that rivals Warren Buffett for the title of most successful investor of all time. He's plowed most of his vast fortune into philanthropic activities, and his support for progressive causes made him a target of right-wing conspiracy theories. So as of May 2022, his net worth is $8.6 billion, and he is part of the Open Societies Foundation, which he founded, which are the world's largest private funder of independent groups working for justice, democratic governance, and human rights. Soros has given a total of $32 billion to the foundation. He supported education, giving a $500 million endowment in 2022 to Bard College. He's a philanthropist. He's made a lot of money from hedge funds. He founded his first hedge fund, Double Eagle, in 1969. With profits from this fund, he then started Soros Fund Management in 1973. Eventually, Double Eagle was renamed the Quantum Fund, and it became a primary hedge fund that Soros advised. His knowledge of regional and global economic trends, combined with his deep pockets and tolerance for risk, has allowed him to amass a fortune now valued in the billions. Before the 21st century, he was mostly known by the nickname as the man who broke the Bank of England, and subsequently he gained another nickname as the man who broke the Bank of Thailand. So he made various bets shorting the pound in 1992, and then he did the same thing to the Thai currency.
So I don't know shit about investing. I should start off by saying that. But it seems to me like he's made a lot of his money by betting against whatever's popular. Like his general principle is, I guess, what goes up must come down. Or anytime that something is doing really, really well, there's an element of a bubble to it. And so whatever everybody else has their money in, whatever's priced really high compared to where it was 5-10 years ago, bet on that thing to fail, and then he's made a ton of money doing it. That's also a very risky thing to do, though, when you're taking all these short positions, because when you take a short position, I think that's where, if you're wrong, you can essentially lose unlimited amounts of money.
Yeah.
But he's been right way more than he's been wrong.
So the story behind his nickname, the man who broke the Bank of England, George Soros is most famous for a single-day gain of $1 billion on September 16, 1992, which he made by short-selling the British pound. At the time, England was part of the European exchange rate mechanism, a fixed exchange rate agreement among a number of European countries. The other countries were pressuring England to devalue its currency or leave the system. After resisting the devaluation for some time, England floated its currency and the value of the pound dropped. Using leverage, Soros was able to take a $10 billion short position on the pound, earning him $1 billion. The trade is considered one of the greatest of all time, and Soros was declared the man who broke the Bank of England. So he's very good at what he does.
The best trade of all time. That's high praise.
Yeah. I mean, $1 billion in a day.
What would you do if you got $1 billion in a day? Go donate to a bunch of libs?
Well, I think
that's what he does.
I think you basically see your vision for the world, and he's a very smart, economically minded guy, and try to shape the world to your liking. I don't think it's anything more nefarious.
Would you celebrate? What would you do to celebrate if you got $1 billion in a day?
I feel like if you're smart enough to make $1 billion in a day and like put in all that work and time, you're not a big fan of like hyper celebration. You're more like a work guy. So just like go look for.
What do you do, Billy?
What do I do? I throw the biggest party ever. We rent out a desert.
You rent a desert?
So actually,
what do you call for that?
I throw a party like the Shah of Iran did.
Straight fire fest.
No, dude, you should see the celebration that the Shah did for the 2000 year anniversary of the Persian Empire's existence. It was like me and Donnie were talking about it on Extradosing. It was the the greatest party on earth. That was like the ultimate music festival. Like this was $1 billion party in itself, and it was right before the Ayatollah took a hold of Iran, and was probably one of the reasons why they got a lot of public favor, because it was such an embarrassment of riches.
Yeah.
But go look it up on Wikipedia. Let's get back to George Soros.
I would do the MBS thing. Besides, well, you know, the one where he hired Pitbull and J-Lo and rented out like an entire Tahitian resort or whatever. Got the Instagram models. I would do that for my bros, not for me. But I would have that entire set up plus Falcons.
Realistically, I'd just throw a keg party for my boys.
Yeah. Where you'd be like, I got this one. This one's on me.
The plans would get way too complicated, and we'd be like trying to set stuff up, and then it would just be like, I'm just going to drive to the liquor store, we'll call ahead, get a keg, and then we all meet at my house, and someone invite girls. And then that's
it's a $1 billion party.
Yeah.
We should, that's actually an interesting topic, is like, how could Billy spend $1 billion in Hoboken over the course of a weekend? Like, you can't leave town. It's Brewster's Millions, which
can you order?
There's a movie that's kind of about this.
Can you order things online, or does it all have to be spent in Hoboken?
It's got to be Hoboken.
Okay.
Only on Hoboken businesses. Like $1 billion. Let's just say you won $1 billion.
Okay. But
you have to spend $20 million.
I think I'd get the permits for a parade and like shutting down streets.
Okay.
I think that would be a good use of funds, and then hire a bunch of musicians to perform in different parks around the city.
Uh-huh.
And then open bar everywhere.
I like that.
Bars open.
This is going to be a banner day for McSwiggins.
Yeah, that's actually a great idea. Just doing open bar for an entire city
in the whole Yeah. And then what else? Try to lift open container laws, be it bribing politicians or Sam Bankman-Frieding.
Billy gets locked up for fraud on his first day being a billionaire.
Just like we're repealing open container. Then, like providing ample transportation to the place so people can party. Ubers are free, so no one's drunk driving.
Okay.
Boom.
Open bar on Ubers too.
Yeah. And what else are we doing? Bunch of concerts. And then
What about steaks?
Ooh, open bar, just a giant grill.
Yeah.
A giant grill all along Washington that just like people can BYOM, bring your own meats and grill it up yourself. And then we'll have like one guy just doing crazy steaks. We get all the steak houses just like to grill up
One
steaks.
guy cooking steak for the entire city.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of guys.
But like a real good, like a guy that knows his shit around the grill.
Yeah. Man, this would be sick.
I hope Billy wins $1 billion one day because like I would like to attend this party. It sounds fun.
But then I'll just end up retreating back to my spot with my boys.
You get too drunk too early. I gotta go.
Peace, guys.
After party at your place,
take a nap,
playing cards, maybe some beer pong.
Yeah, like the whole city's burning.
Yeah,
I'm just like in my backyard. Yeah, that's what I'd do. Be sick. Back to Soros.
So many clients would be entertained.
I would that would be the ultimate client entertainment.
Yeah, it would.
What are we talking about?
Soros. So Soros, he beat the Bank of England.
Got super rich.
Got super rich. You know what he tried to do initially with his money? Well, not initially, but he's really behind a lot of the weed legalization.
Yeah.
He's a big believer in legalizing marijuana. He funded most of the efforts to I think California was the first state that really took off with that, right? Back in 2015, 2016.
Yeah.
So that was a big initiative that he had, was getting weed legal everywhere.
And now that's something that conspiracy theorists pick up and be like, they're trying to, opiate for the masses, like try to keep everybody down. But in reality, he's a huge fan of open markets. And part of that is open borders. And that's a lot of people are like, he's the reason behind the immigrant crisis in Europe, which is kind of true. There's some quotes I have on him. Explaining
totally open markets though. He's actually he critiqued that. He critiqued totally open markets, like unmitigated capitalism. He's not a fan of that.
But for example, something like the commerce of marijuana, which there's already $1 billion industry that's unregulated, make it able for him to get a piece of it through investment. Soros has made, getting back to his origin story, after World War II, he immigrated to London and took classes at the London School of Economics, where he also worked as a nightclub waiter and a railroad porter. And that's what he did when he got his degree. And he then got a job somewhere in a bank and ended up immigrating to the United States and starting these hedge funds. But during this time, a big sort of contentious part of his growing up was his role in the Hungarian application. There's a lot of people who accuse him of working for the Nazis during World War II in categorizing Jewish people's possessions that were then to be nationalized under the Nazi regime. But basically, this is the story as described by him. So this is the exact story. It's more of he was working for the Hungarian government, who was under the Nazi regime at that time, and was working for the Department of Agriculture, who was then sent to classify all of the possessions of a certain Jewish aristocratic merchant. And he may have been there at the time. And this is where it kind of gets weird. And, this is where a lot of the alt-right stuff comes out. So Where is the exact quote? So what is true is to survive in that time and place, Tivadar Soros had his son George assume a non-Jewish identity, Sandor Kiss, and pose as the godson of a Hungarian agricultural ministry bureaucrat named Bombash, whose job was taking inventory of Jewish properties confiscated by Nazi occupiers. Soros accompanied Bombash on one job, traveling to the estate of a wealthy Jewish aristocrat named Morik Cornfield. What is not disputed is that Soros hung around the estate while Bombash did his work for the Nazi occupying regime, what is disputed is what, if anything, Soros did while Bombash took inventory. So there's a big accusation that he worked for the Nazis when he was younger.
All right, so it sounds like he went on a work trip to this one person's house.
Yeah.
And then we don't know what he did while they were there.
I think which a lot of people sort of demonize Soros is because of the way he looks at things, and I think it has a lot to do with his upbringing during a very dangerous time for a Jewish person in Europe. So like in I think 1992 he was on 60 Minutes. This is like during an interview he basically admitted that he helped go out, confiscate property from the Jews. Soros said, yes, that's right. I mean, that sounds like an experience that would send a lot of people to the psychiatric couch for many, many years. Was it difficult? And this was his quote that like gets everyone worked up. No, not at all. Maybe as a child you don't see the connection, but it created no problem at all. No feeling of guilt. Soros. No. For example, that I'm Jewish, I'm here watching these people go, I could just as easily be these, I should be there, none of that. Well, of course, I could be on the other side, or I could be the one for whom the thing is being taken away, but there was no sense that I shouldn't be there because that was, well, actually in a funny way, it was like just in the markets, that if I weren't there, of course, I wasn't doing it, but somebody else would be taking it anyhow. So whether I was there as a spectator, the property was being taken away no matter what.
How old was he at the time?
14.
So he was doing it as like a guise to hide, correct?
Yeah.
So I heard this quote, and at first I was like, yeah, that's pretty bad. But then you hear him explain it. I mean, I'm like, shit, as a 14-year-old kid, it's like either them or me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know. I'm trying to put myself in his shoes. I mean, maybe he could show a little bit more empathy afterwards. I think that's what people may be mad at, but I don't know. The more I looked at this dude, the more I'm like, it just seemed like a boogeyman. Like I thought he had some real dirt. That's why I proposed him. But it's a whole bunch of this. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, his father wrote a whole autobiography called Masquerade: Dance Around Death in Nazi-Occupied Hungary that corroborates all these facts. And this, I think, had a big shaping on Soros's worldview. He, is hypercritical of nationalist ideologies, of any far right sort of identity. And the huge part of this, and sort of where the boogeyman came about of George Soros, was during the fall of the Soviet Union. Mm-hmm. Because George Soros saw this oppressive regime and was pushing against the far right actors in places like Hungary, Eastern Europe, that were just dealing with the fall of the Soviet Union and had all these far right parties. So, for example, Soros is not a fan of national borders or border wait, let me go back just a second. All right. Around that time, due to currency manipulations one second.
He was also instrumental in like he was like super against apartheid in South Africa.
Yeah.
So he helped get a whole bunch of people, so black South Africans, like scholarships, stuff like that. And so he's basically just like a good Batman. That's what Batman should be doing.
Helping people out, not fighting crime.
So do you like him, Arian?
I don't know enough about him to like him or dislike him, but from what I've researched him, like he's like a rich person that just tries to. I mean, he's like any rich person, honestly. Like, and when I mean rich, I mean wealthy. Like he's like any wealthy person. He feels like he has an obligation to directly affect the world around him via his wealth, and he's done that. And it just so happens a lot of the stuff that he's done that I've read, I happen to agree with. I I'm like I said, I don't know the extent of everything he's done. So I'm sure people are like, well, what about? I don't know. Like I from the stuff that I've read, I mean, we all agree apartheid was bad. Helping Black folks in South Africa get scholarships is good. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I think that he did well on. I mean, I'm open to hearing the bad stuff. Like I heard Alex Jones don't like him, Glenn Beck, like all those cats. Like it's, to me, he's kind of become like the right wing's boogeyman. Like it's like they need a scapegoat.
Well,
for go ahead.
Before he was the right wing.
Oh, real quick. There's one thing I think that really makes like right wing folks really not like him is he's really a huge critic of the state of Israel. He definitely believes that the state of Israel deserves statehood, but he's not necessarily a fan of their policies, and actually attributes a lot of anti-Semitism to Israel's policies. And that's why I think a lot of the right-wing hate comes from. But like I said, I'm open to hearing more of what he's done. But to me, it doesn't seem like the villain that he's painted out to be. So I don't know enough.
The origin of his boogeyman type disinformation comes from the first disinformation campaigns of the post-Soviet empire. He's devoted decades of his life to nonviolent democratic movements, helping influence the fall of communism in the Soviet Union. And that's what first got him in trouble. The Russian regime and neighboring despots were so outraged at his support of its democratic opponents that it expelled some of the groups he funded in the region. In 1997, the American head of the local office of Soros' Open Society Institute was expelled from Belarus after being detained at the airport without food and not be allowed to contact the U.S. Embassy. Around that time, due to currency manipulations that impacted economies around the world, Soros began to be targeted by both critics on both the left and the right. Soon the criticism spiraled out of control, prompting millions of memes, and to the point that his name has become synonymous with evil. It was actually when he was considering buying a minority stake of the Washington Nationals in 2005, some Republican lawmakers called for revoking Major League Baseball's antitrust exemption. So in 1992, Hungarian populist anti-Semitic leader István Křerka called Soros a puppet of Jerusalem. In 1995, Slovakian President John Slaughter calls out Soros and others for bringing in dirty money to cause a parliamentary coup. 1997, Malaysian Prime Minister Mahathir bin Mohamad said this about his country's currency crisis: "We do not want to say that this is a plot by the Jews, but in reality, it is a Jew who triggered the currency plunge. Coincidentally, Soros is a Jew." So basically, he's been targeted because of this and it's all started with Russian propaganda, because Soros was pushing pro-free market democracy, Western values in these far eastern post-Soviet countries. And on the other side of that was Russia, who was backing all of their basically puppet governments. And there's some of that still taking play in places like Ukraine, where you have Russia versus the West in an ideological battle. So,
and he's been very vocal about trying to get refugees settled in as many different places as possible. And I think that's why a lot of people see some of the quotes that he says and they're like, wait a second, because he talks about like taking down or viewing borders as an obstacle. So it's tough to say, like, because from the quotes I read, he was talking about refugees, because there's a lot of refugees, especially Eastern Europe, migrating from all sorts of countries as well as like the Middle East. And he views the borders as being an obstacle there because his goal is to try to settle as many refugees in as many places as possible. And so he draws a lot of criticism for that. And also, I think people say that he's trying to influence America to be more like Europe when it comes to like the immigration policies that we have. So anytime there's, the caravans that pop up every now and again, people say that Soros is funding them, but there's like zero evidence whatsoever that he's funding caravans coming from Central America.
His open borders initiative, that company I was talking about before, does have aid for refugees and people who are at the border. Mm-hmm. Like they're just an aid group, is like the Red Cross would help out in a war zone. But the philosophy behind his open borders from an economic perspective, this is where he gets like basically, he's the architect of like white genocide in Europe. That's a big one. But if you look at what the real problem is that birth rates are going down in those countries, such as in many Western countries, because of liberalization. A lot of
birth rates always go down as quality of life improves overall. That's been true for hundreds of years.
Right. So instead,
it's also the key to the Bill Gates conspiracy, where they're like Bill Gates wants to depopulate the earth. That came from a keynote speech he gave. I think another keynote is a TED Talk. He gave that TED Talk where he was pointing out that point that in the third world countries and people with low health care places to get health care, those places have those persons have high birth rates because they replace their kids. Like that's what they do. They procreate more because they have more child deaths. And he said, and that's what, to PFT's point, if you vaccinate against a lot of these diseases and you get people good quality health care, that birth rate goes down. And then people spun his quote saying he wants to depopulate the earth through vaccines.
So the thing is, with that, economic growth needs population growth. There's always been a synonymous relationship between population growth and economic growth, because more consumers, more labor, a larger labor pool. And because of that, when you have population decreasing in places like all over Europe, you need more people to work and replace and sort of grow population. And the solution to that, in many cases, including the United States, is immigration. Now, this is where it gets tricky, because I sort of have a theory. I would like to hear Arian's opinion on this, that I feel that a large part of influxing of immigration and promoting open borders to have a different labor distribution to make sure that there's always expendable labor is sort of exploitative on the worker. So like throughout history, especially in America, immigrants have always been used to prevent proper unionization and like scab strikers, and basically like set back a lot of the pro labor efforts in any one place. And as we see, Europe is one of those places with great like socialist structures, be it healthcare, be it, their fire departments, their worker standards are much higher than that of the US. Think about like the mandatory paternity
leave. They
leave.
Vacation like a motherfucker over there.
Like their rights for workers is so much higher than the US. And part of that is because the US has always had such a exploitable labor source, because there's so many immigrants coming in. Like if you're not going to work because of standards, there's a guy behind you who'll do it for, twice the time for half the price. And I kind of want to know, like Arian, I believe you're in favor of a lot of those social programs that help the worker. What do you think of the impact of illegal immigration on those efforts? And for example, there's many who think that they're trying to with the influx of refugees and strain on socialist healthcare, that places are going to end up voting against their own socialist healthcare in order to institute a more financially lucrative privatized healthcare system. Because you have a lot of people who live in those countries who see the strain of refugees and end up saying, I don't want to pay for these refugees anymore because the healthcare system has become too strained and I'm not paying for my fellow countrymen anymore.
It was like a two-part question, right? You asked me about the
labor,
the tax.
Like the impact of immigration and this mass influx of immigration on a lot of social welfare, especially in these homogenous countries.
I think that's not necessarily a byproduct of immigration. That's a byproduct of the regulatory standards of businesses. because if you have a certain standard where you have to treat workers a certain way, which is what unions are for, well then we don't have to go get cheap labor and not give them healthcare and not give them those things. Because if I'm running a business and I have to abide by these regulations, then it doesn't matter who you go pull, right? Because then you're gonna have to abide by those standards either way. And so it's more of a matter of unfettered, letting owners do whatever that they want. Then they will. They'll absolutely take advantage, and they'll hire whoever's cheaper for the job. That's their main goal. And so I think that's more of a byproduct of the businesses and their hands not being tied.
True. I mean, his sort of Soros's ideal, when he thinks about open borders, one of his greatest proponents is that the labor supply will be met and will actually be in excess, because there will be which will allow for greater economic surplus, be it because you don't have to spend as much on labor and have higher outcomes for like stockholders. And that's what
he's saying. So he's saying he wants higher immigration for cheaper labor to untie the hands of the ownership to
improve his own stock holdings. That's part of the ideology.
I don't agree with that. That's
sort of the main argument against a lot of this influx of refugees and immigration, is that it undermines it undermines like not the local worker, but like the workers already in a country that have been striving for their own social
native workers, and those push for labor unions. I understand. It's what me and John Taffer were going back and forth about. He's saying untie my hands so that I can pour that money back into the business, right?
Right.
Then I mentioned that study. He said that I was reading the wrong things. Not true. There's that longitudinal study, it was like 20, 30 years that came out that said, and he's basically talking about, I'm blanking on the term. God damn, what is the term? Oh, I just totally went blank. Anyway, the term where they don't pour back into the company. They take their money and they're greedy. They do what they want to do with it. They
trickle down economics doesn't work.
There you go. There you go. Trickle down. There you go.
Yeah.
And that's basically, but I think that's every capitalist's, dream. That's every capitalist's pipe dream, is that if you just untie my hands, I could do more with the business. But time after time after time, we see that they don't do more with the business. They just continue to grow their wealth in other ways.
That's my one qualm with like mass migration. I think like just because it's going to undermine the workers already here and basically allows for companies like in the what's the belt with the in California, where a lot of illegal immigration occurs, because that's where all the jobs are, and they can get away with paying these not illegal but undocumented workers much lower wages.
Like a lot of I know a lot of almond farms out there.
Yeah, I forget
the raisins.
Like not the pasture belt. It's another term. Grove? No, not Grove. What did Josh Allen invest in?
I'm not sure. I know
that was
probably some pistachios. There's a shitload of pistachio growth out there too. A lot of the jobs that immigrants take right now are jobs that citizens would not take.
Right.
No, there's more demand for manual labor than there is actual supply of the labor itself.
Yeah, but that's some of the critiques of this mass migration stuff, but basically that's why he wants to have mass migration. It's not, there's a lot of like the alt-right conspiracies that say, oh, he wants mass migration to replace white people. But like the thing is, there's not enough people there because of how first world countries and the improvement of quality of life. There's less reproduction, which is just a commonly encompassed thing, but it's more of a macroeconomic reason why he wants more immigrants in Europe.
Yeah, it's also just fun to just blame everything on Soros.
Yeah,
anything that's bad, Soros. They're bussing people into vote. Soros is doing it.
And you could, like, the thing is, Europe never had, like, when you look at, like, everyone's like, oh, there's so much more crime in Europe because of the immigrants. There's so much more this and that, and you even hear a lot of these arguments about Minnesota after George Floyd. But the thing is, the crime in those places and in Europe is actually much lower than like New York City or any of these places per capita. It's just like there was literally no crime before, and now there's a little crime, and people have a lower tolerance of crime in those places, be it Sweden, Germany, France, because it was just, there was no crime.
There's nothing there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
this is crazy about those arguments, though. What's crazy about those arguments is like when you be like, "Yo, that's racist," they'll be like, "Are you calling me a racist?" Like it's literally definition of racism, right? If we all agreed that the term of racism means you believe that a certain race there's a superiority complex that you hold, right? You believe one is superior, right? And so what you're saying is these immigrants, that specific set, have a higher proclivity to crime, and if you're saying that's the case, well, you're either saying that it's either one or two things. One is racist, one is not. One is you agree that the socioeconomic situation that they're in breeds criminality. Poverty breeds crime, right? That's one instance where I can see that you have a point. The other one is you inherently think that these people are more violent or more criminal. That is the definition of racism. And so that's why, like, these arguments to me are always hilarious. And these people are always saying that, especially like those 1352 people that quote that stat. 52% of the 13% of the population, black folks have 13% of the population commit 52% of the murders. And so, but when you don't take into account all of the factors that go into a society, it's asinine, and it's literally the definition of racism. And so, like, they never have any policy suggestions. It's always just get the darker skinned folks out of here.
Yeah. And what I think people need to realize that throughout the course, at least of this country, I don't know too much about the history of other places, but anytime that there's a different group of people that are moving to the country, poor people, people get racist as fuck towards them. Like Italians, Irish.
And because of that, the Irish then dominated the world by making everybody else drunks.
Yes.
And yeah, and they were the only ones who were able to tolerate it.
Yeah.
And then
they subjugated us.
There's an elders of Dublin that control all of the Irish people across the world.
It's at the top of St. James Gate.
Yeah. And they meet every year and say, how are we going to appoint, like, keep like taking advantage of all the non-Irish?
Yeah. I've got it. We'll have the Dropkick Murphys put out a new album.
Yeah.
Brilliant, sir.
It happens on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah. No, I mean, throughout the course of American history, like, Irish need not apply. Italians were, like, we joke about Italians a lot because a lot of reasons, and also, like, they're very outgoing, funny people. It's the actual racism that they dealt with was a lot. Like, Irish, Italians, Catholics in general, and all sorts of people have, like, if you're new to this country, you are going to get discriminated against. That's how it's always been. And a lot of people don't realize that there's a big history of that. And it's just the fear of the new people sometimes that really, like, new people move to your country and they're doing working class jobs. They bring some of their culture there. People are afraid of the unknown sometimes. And so it's very easy for people with longer histories in this country to look at the new people and say, like, they're bad, get them out.
Well, the craziest thing is Europe is now just, for the first time really in history, I guess not really the first time, maybe in mass migration, is dealing with such a large influx of outsiders. Probably the most out of any times in Europe. Like, historically, those countries are, you know, mostly ethnically homogenous. So us in America, we've always dealt with different types of people. Whereas in these places, they're largely homogenous, and for the first time, they're having to deal with new immigrants.
They're freaking out. Like Sweden, has
like the most homogenous nation in the world. And the thing is, there's better arguments in saying that a lot of the socialist structures they have there, be it healthcare and labor stuff, and like their apparatuses that they built that largely come from homogenous communities because it's easier to trust. Like it's like people see each other as family, like at face value, because a lot of the times there's tons of interbreeding.
Europe is a wild place. You've got all these tiny little countries, and they all have very specific things about their culture and physical appearances that are like strictly located within their borders, and they all live so close to each other. And you drive like 5 miles, or probably not 5 miles unless you're like Liechtenstein or whatever,
over a valley.
But they've grown up in these like all these little all these what?
Pockets.
Yeah, all these little pockets, exactly. All these little pockets of people that look and sound and act like them. And then right next door, it's like a completely different place entirely.
Like Boston to Providence, even though I'd say culturally, those two places are very, very similar in America. Are you against it? Like Boston and Providence are.
I don't know that much about New England, but yeah, that sounds about right.
Like it's very New England. The accents are kind of the same.
Yeah.
There's the same influence of Irish, more Italians in Providence, but like Boston North End is basically like Providence. But because of that, if you go to Europe, the cultural difference from that span, I think that's like the difference between Switzerland and Germany. Like there's tons of groups in like farther apart that speak totally different languages, totally different foods, and that's what's insane.
What states do you think that border each other in the United States are most like Europe? Like two states that have the least in common.
The most
Vermont and New Hampshire.
For sure not.
I don't know about that.
Vermont, California, Arizona.
No.
Vermont and New Hampshire. Think about it. Vermont is a totally live free. You have libertarians. Mm-hmm. Like I'd say culturally, New Hampshire is more like shoot first, ask questions later. Vermont is more like Bernie Bros.
I've got
socialist. It's like socialism and libertarianism.
Tennessee and Missouri. Tennessee is still like the South, very much the South.
Yeah.
And Missouri is very much not.
Yeah.
I think that's hard to argue from someone who isn't in tune with the intricacies.
I mean, those places are radically different.
Yeah, they are.
Like St. Louis and Knoxville. Very different places.
Now
they're really far apart. Tennessee's long, so those are kind of far apart. I would say Memphis is a lot closer to like.
Yeah, West Tennessee is very different than Middle and East Tennessee. But on the whole, I think those are very different.
Yeah.
Arkansas and
I thought about Arkansas and Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But those are more similar than I think.
Very rural, both very rural states.
In Oklahoma, no disrespect to any Oklahomans, but what's the culture in Oklahoma? I don't really know.
The flatlands.
Oil.
Yeah, a shitload of oil. A lot of Native Americans in Oklahoma.
Legal weed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we remember we drove through and I was like, "There's legal weed in Oklahoma."
I forgot about that.
Or medical.
There's a lot of there's a really dark sky there, like the darkest sky that you can see in America.
Big sky.
I watched this thing on Netflix where there's this there's the storm chasers. Like it's a real fucking thing, and they like documented like some big ass storm that took out like hundreds of people, like some tornado, and like they was like driving around chasing a fucking tornado. That shit is insane.
I interviewed one. Turns out it's quite lucrative. I interviewed one on Billy's List. He chases storms. He doesn't use a crazy rig that you see, because if you are getting close enough to actually have to use it, you're stupid, and you can still get better shots from farther out.
Yeah.
Because when you're in the storm, there's nothing really to film. But if you're out of the storm, you get to see like the tornado touchdown and see all the videos that they upload to YouTube and get tons of views. But like they're a real strain on resources near a storm area, because they'll all roll up to the same types of hotels that first responders are at, and the first responders hate the storm chasers because they're like, we're gonna end up having to save you because you're trying to, get clicks.
Interesting.
But pretty wild guys.
Maybe Arkansas and Texas.
Yeah, our Arkansas and Kansas.
But they're not really that.
Arkansas doesn't
different.
border Kansas.
Does it not?
No, there's Oklahoma is taller than Arkansas.
Oh, just by a little bit. Yeah, it's really close.
I'd say Louisiana and Texas because Louisiana has a much different influence than Texas.
Louisiana is still the South. Texas isn't really the South. Texas is Texas.
Right. So I think it's you have people who speak a different language in Louisiana. Texas is way different.
East Texas has a lot of similarities to Louisiana.
West Texas is totally different. Yeah. Texas is so big, it's kind of wild. It's one state.
Yeah, it takes if you drive from Houston to El Paso, doesn't it take 13 hours?
I'd imagine. I drove from Houston to LA once. It was a little push.
Maybe West Virginia, Maryland. Those are two big different cultures.
West Virginia, everything that borders West Virginia is different than West Virginia.
Western Maryland is actually it's pretty similar to West Virginia in a lot of ways. It's very rural, a lot of forests and stuff out there. But in terms of where people live in the state, Maryland and West Virginia could not be more dissimilar than they are.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Colorado, Utah, maybe. Colorado,
in
Nebraska.
my mind, all that out there is the same.
Colorado, Nebraska, different places.
I think Colorado and Utah are pretty. I mean, I think culturally, there's a lot of big Mormon population in Utah, but as far as it's pretty much the same vibe. Cold as shit, mountainy.
Salt Lake City and Las Vegas,
Colorado,
Utah, and Nevada.
Now that is
might be, that might be it. Actually,
now it's a little unfair because two different states like Utah and Nevada. Nevada has a lot of similarities to Utah in terms of the desert and shit, and nobody lives in Nevada outside of Las Vegas and Reno, pretty much. But if you're just talking two cities that are nearby each other, I think Salt Lake City and Vegas are probably the least alike.
Yeah, I think the top three is Utah, Nevada, West Virginia, Maryland, Tennessee, Missouri.
Those sound good to me. How about George Soros almost buying the Nationals?
Yeah, well, that's
really
everything that he's interested in. Nothing about it screams baseball.
Was that the most recent, just this past year?
No, 2005. We talked about one of the Republicans. A couple Republicans were about to invoke the national antitrust on the MLB if that occurred.
Why? Wouldn't they be happy that he was spending money on baseball instead of Democratic things?
So this was why a lot of Republicans don't like Soros. Soros was flatly opposed to the war on terror after 9/11, declared the U.S. response to Al-Qaeda to be morally equivalent to the terrorist attacks. We abhor terrorists because they kill innocent people for political goals, but by waging war on terror, we are doing the same thing. In 2006, Soros said that the main obstacle to a stable and just world is the United States, not Iran, not Russia, not China, not Islamist terrorist groups, non-transnational crime, the United States. In 2010, he declared that China has a better functioning government than the United States. This is where I don't like that a guy who thinks that that China has a better functioning government than the United States has such a large influence on our elections.
Do y'all know how much money he gave to Democrats in 2022?
Yeah,
just this election cycle.
I don't know.
He definitely wanted the Democrats to win, especially Trump. He did not want Trump to win.
If you had to guess,
how much?
Take a guess.
30
$1 billion.
30, 40 M's.
No, 128 million.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's crazy because in 2020, the 28 organizations that are controlled by Charles Cook, they spent a combined $1.1 billion to influence public policy and politics in the U.S.
Is he a right-wing guy?
Yeah, the Cook brothers.
Coke.
Cook brothers. Yeah, KOCH.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is
that's what I'm saying. That's pretty bipartisan. It's because that's what we always talk about. Big T and Billy is what we talk about, the split between progressives and or leftists and and Democrats. Like Democrats like that shit. Democrats love money in politics and lobbying and all of that shit, right? We don't. We're saying you shouldn't have a majority wealth being able to control and manipulate or have any influence on elections or the political cycle at all. We're saying get money out of politics. That's what I'm saying when we say like they're two sides of the same coin. Like corporate Democrats, we look at like just like Republicans. So it's like I'm not for like, so when you say George Soros, like I'm not for that shit. Like I'm not for that. I love a wealthy dude helping poor people, but like the majority of Democratic policies are just doing what Republican ones do. And a lot of it is, Congress is a big debate, but basically, I mean, they want to massage big corporations, and we were more for, I would say, the little people.
I personally like George Soros. The fact that he's like the fourth richest person.
Well,
at one point he was like the fourth richest person in the world. If you have that much money, you've done some fucked up shit. Like no matter what.
Yeah, I mean he's definitely rigged. He took advantage of a lot of like fragile governments with their financial system.
Yeah,
especially like Thailand.
Yeah,
like that kind of like fucked over Thailand.
Mm-hmm.
Like by him shorting it. And, if he really cared, like, I think the threat to sovereignty, like, with sort of a lot of this globalist stuff, and I'm really not trying to sound like Alex Jones, but I think, like, a country should have its own, like, decisions and be able to control its own destiny, especially its people. Like,
I don't think it's
democracy.
I don't think it's a good thing to have billionaires donating hundreds of millions of dollars to get their wishes in elections across the board, for sure. Now, if you were to short a country, what country would you short right now? What country do you think?
Qatar.
Yeah, that's actually
any of those oil nations. Like they have too much money.
Well, the thing is, I mean, it's a good point. They've got a finite resource that's being drained constantly. They are sitting on the biggest natural gas location in the world, in the North Oil Field. Shorting Qatar is not a bad idea because they're very clearly at the best that they'll ever be at.
If from not like a choice being like who's not going to miss the money, like Saudi Arabia or Qatar, like if I made $1 billion off of them and like hurt one of their financial institutions by doing that, I don't think they'd miss it.
But just as a country, I think I would short Chile. Well, how long are they going to
impact their people?
How long are they going to be able to hold on to that coast? Like Chile just is just dominating Argentina.
Well, they earned it.
I don't know anything about the history of how
they
Chile
earned it. Those wars are weird.
But they've essentially been like, yo, Argentina, we're going to take this entire coast from you, and you just have to deal with it.
Croatia
does the same thing. It's European Chile.
Yeah, European Chile.
It is. They engulf Bosnia and Herzegovina. And they just say, okay, we're going to take this entire coast. I think they take it away from, is it Macedonia?
Yeah.
Montenegro.
Kosovo might be involved.
Yeah, so they dominate the coastline. How much longer can Chile hang on to that coast is all I'm saying.
Yeah, but I feel like the Chilean people, I think that's going to impact the wrong people.
I know, I'm just saying like if you were to just look at a map and be like, which country do you think is getting away with it?
But yeah, basically a lot of people on the very far alt-right think that George Soros is the head of some giant cabal that's trying to control the world, create a one world government. And I hope that a lot of the facts that we gave today help sway people who might actually believe this. Like there's a lot more economic reasons, if anything, be it greed that's motivating a lot of these decisions, not a secret like plan to. And
Kanye mentioned Soros too, didn't he?
Yeah,
there's always one dude. He always name drops somebody else too. Is it Bourdain?
The Rothschilds.
He always I forget his name.
They think there's an attack. A lot of the Christian far right, and I think Kanye's coming from this part. He thinks that all the influx of Muslim refugees into Europe and into these places and with the media is an attack on Christianity, and that shares some of the like far right Hungarian individuals who in all of their elections they're talking about Soros trying to destroy Christianity, and that's why they need to vote for them. Because
That boy's so full of shit.
Kanye also thinks he's Rain Man, so
Does he?
Yeah. Did you not see that video?
No.
Oh, God.
I haven't been up on my Kanye recently.
It was something.
Is he still banned on Twitter?
So he called himself slightly autistic and that he thinks he's Rain Man.
Okay.
I don't know if he's banned on Twitter though. Did you see that, Arian?
I saw. Yeah, he was like, I am not bipolar. He said, I might be autistic. That's what he meant.
Yeah, hold on. Let me see if I can find it.
I was getting called Rain Man way before him.
Before it was cool?
Who's calling you Rain Man?
My dad.
Yo.
I've talked about that.
Yeah, you have. Yeah.
Yeah.
I am not bipolar. I'm not in some kind of episode, but I may be slightly autistic. Wait.
And then he went on to talk about how he's like Rain Man. I don't know where the full clip is. Interesting.
I can imagine.
I'm just still confused by the George Soros, like, why some people think he's genuinely the devil, and some people think he's like he is so polarizing, and I don't understand.
Because he funds a lot of Democrats, and so if you don't like Democrats, then you see him as being the person that is in charge of like ruining elections.
Also, for example, I think Soros is one of these guys that only thinks of things on a macro, like because he's a macroeconomic level, and that with a macro everything level. So, for example, when he like is funding DAs to elect them and instituting bail reform,
right?
Like he's thinking we're gonna help systematic, like long-time systematic issues by allowing people to get out of jail without cash bail, and then but not thinking about the individual impact of that on the communities, and thinking about large systemic problems and turning a blind eye to micro problems on the, like, for example, a guy robbing 3 liquor stores in one day because you can't book him with a cash bail until he commits the third one.
Okay. Like, I just feel, and I didn't know he existed until Monday, so I'm very new to the George Soros game, but I was talking to guys upstairs about it, and they were like, oh, he is, he runs the world. And there's people saying that, but then like I was researching for it, and it's like, I get why people think he's bad, because he's definitely done bad things and not, this like.
So he's like, it's just like anything. So like what PFT mentioned earlier with the Koch brothers. Koch brothers fund a lot of like right wing, what I would call like propaganda channels. So like the Daily Wire, like Ben Shapiro, Candace Owens, like the Koch brothers fund Dave Rubin. They fund all of that shit, and so they, in my opinion, put a lot of misinformation out about climate change, about a lot of different stuff that I feel like is harming and detrimental to the society. So like I would demonize the Koch brothers, and so the opposite end of that is George Soros. They feel like Democrats want open borders and all this other shit, so they demonize George Soros in the same kind of veil. So it's more of I mean it's a lot more nuanced than that, but basically that's it. It's like there shouldn't be so much influence politically, but there is, and because there is, the wealthy are the scapegoats. You feel like you have a vision and how you need to change, how the world needs to change. You can actually affect that change, and you're doing so with your money, and so they will always get vilified.
But people think that he controls the world pretty much.
That's what people were saying upstairs, because they were like, basically some guys upstairs that I was talking to about this were like, he divides the lower and middle class so that they don't look up and recognize what the elite rich are doing. And I think that's a fair take.
I think he may, some of his beliefs, and I think the WEF and Klaus Schwab is the person to point at.
Which you keep mentioning them, and I'm still also not sure who they are, but whatever, we'll get to that later.
I think we need to do an episode on that in the future. But Soros is just fun. Like, he caused a lot of micro issues with his macro ideas and implements. Like, for example, when you have immigrants rolling up on the beaches in all of these like Mediterranean islands and stuff, and like you have Greek villagers on islands literally fighting off refugees who just landed on their beaches and are just swarming. Like, and the thing is, you have one side, like, these guys are looking for a better life, but then you have literally like small villages on Mediterranean islands who are like been there for thousands of years and like are very insular, and they're like, we just had a bunch of dudes roll up on a boat, which has never been a good situation.
Never a good
historically
sign.
like
Yeah.
Vikings rolling up on boats, invaders rolling up on boats, like anyone is going to like feel protective of their area when random people roll up on it. So like it's a micro problem caused by the open arms policy of Europe, which he advocated for.
So do you think he's like the cabal and running the world?
No, I think the WEF and Klaus Schwab causing some really, I think the World Economic Forum might have something to do with actions in the world. Yeah,
he definitely gave a shitload of money to Hillary, which is another reason why people like absolutely can't stand the guy.
Okay.
Because he was like bound and determined to stop Trump back in 2016.
Right. I was reading about how he hated Trump, and so he really went hard on the Biden. And
he gave a ton of money to John Kerry and Democrats in 2004.
Right, because didn't he hate Bush too?
He hated Bush
and like the war on terror.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody, if that should actually be a lesson that George Soros actually doesn't run the world because he couldn't beat George Bush in 2004
or
like
Trump in 2016.
Yeah, exactly. Like two of the most unpopular presidents at the time, and he handpicked Hillary Clinton and John Kerry to run against them. So how influential could he get? Yeah. So Billy, that you did good research there. Credit where credit's due.
Thank you. There's so much anti-Semitic shit to filter through, and I had to do that. It was really like I really had to cross check.
They almost got me.
Wait, can I ask one more question about that? I understand that there are just tons of awful anti-Semitic people in the world, but why are people so poignantly anti-Semitic towards him?
Because they think it's like the smoking gun that there's like a bunch of Jewish people who control everything,
who control the world and write,
like how the Jewish control the media type thing.
And write laws and dominate the media in order to increase the power and the wealth of other Jewish people, the elite Jewish people.
And anti-Semitic people are like.
They're like, look, this is the Jewish people in action.
Like the Jewish elites or
this
something?
Is how they're trying to get it over on you and me.
And one theory is that, like, it's another racist theory, is that the reason that they want all this immigration is because they think that like this is like, they think that destroying Christianity,
ideologies,
in Europe using Muslim, like with Muslim refugees, is going to like create like a situation where another Holocaust won't happen.
So here's the thing is, I think I'm going to steal this take from that movie Bulworth, but we're all going to keep fucking each other until we're all the same color anyways. Anything that you try to do to stop it is just like putting a road bump in there. Like people are just going to keep fucking across races, and it's going to continue to happen, and eventually we'll all be the same race. Maybe if we don't destroy ourselves before then.
About my complexion, maybe a little lighter, but yeah.
What does the ultimate human being look like once we reach that stage?
Well, there was a quote.
It definitely looks like. Matter of fact, I did that little AI shit.
Mm-hmm.
I sent it in the group chat. Everybody gonna look like this. Let me show you, bro. This shit is.
Well, actually, I think you're leaving out the largest ethnic group in the world, Han Chinese. I think we're gonna all, like, if there's a one big melting pot of everyone in the world right now, Han Chinese is gonna have a majority of what we look like, because that's the largest ethnic group in the world.
That's a good point, Billy. Also, Indian people. They're a very large ethnic group as well.
Right.
And that's actually several ethnic groups.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, it's
Han Chinese, the largest.
But the Indian subcontinent in general has a lot of people that live there.
Yeah.
All right, so Arian just sent us the glimpse of, this is what you think the human race is going to look like one day, Arian?
Yeah, that's what it's.
Everybody
keep fucking
narcissistic.
Like that.
Arian just like,
how's it narcissistic? I did what
really good.
Everybody, talking about. Thank you.
You're like,
Daddy.
the whole world's gonna look like me.
I mean, your beard looks incredible in this. That's why you sent it to us.
This ain't my pictures, cuz this is the AI generated shit where you just send in like 20 selfies and they create images of you. There's a whole bunch of them. But anyway, I don't think they're gonna look like me, but complexion wise, there will be
These
around
photos are black
like a
and
light
white.
skin. Fucking. But you can tell the complexion. The complexion is gonna be around my skin complexion, maybe a little lighter.
I think if you look up, there was a National Geographic cover, average.
You're a hater too, Billy.
Looking human. I'm not a hater. I just think that I think you're National Geographic.
Mad because I look like a god.
I'm saying you look great in those photos. But
I think that's what you would look like if you were an avatar. Is that a weird take?
the average American will look.
I would look lit.
Wait.
I'm gonna post these tomorrow.
Yeah. The AI shit. Make sure you say that. The AI was the AI shit.
The other part of this that I was doing some research of my own, and I saw that in like the late 90s, somebody in George Soros's neighborhood got bit by George Soros's dog. And you want to talk about like the best thing to ever happen to you.
In Katona.
Oh my God, I would love to get bit by George Soros's dog. It'd be over.
What type of dog was it?
I think they tried to sue. I think it was like a black lab.
Oh.
I would sue, man. I would go home. I would like soak my hand in mud just trying to get that thing infected for just a little bit. Oh man, you would never see a bigger lawsuit than that.
I'm just saying.
I was watching one of those interrogation videos and some dude claimed that somebody attacked him, and when the officers left the room, he started punching himself more. I do some shit like that.
Did it work?
Of course not. The cameras were rolling.
Yeah, I would sue the shit out of George Soros. That would be awesome.
By the way, it's weird because something I did find, last point on this, but I just did so much research. There's two ideologies when it reading between, because I had to read all this trying to find out like the real stuff about George Soros. Like George Soros's ideology of globalism is that national identity is more toxic and will cause war and division. And then there's other ideologies amongst like that, like some of the Rothschilds believe that is that like between Jewish people. Actually, let me try to think exactly how to explain this. But like some people believe that Israel is essential. It's more like a differing opinion on Israel, that Jewish people should have a national identity and sort of be nationalistic with Israel in mind, or the whole world should all just be open borders. There shouldn't be any sort of stuff. I think the differing in opinion is something that's in common amongst like that sort of proves the anti-Semitic conspiracy incorrect. That's they don't want a national identity versus some people want closed borders, and that differing ideology is something that proves the whole conspiracy incorrect.
You're saying that Zionists, people that believe that Israel should be a state,
right?
If they believe in that premise, it therefore negates the world cabal premise.
Yes, like for example, George Soros is not a Zionist.
Debunked. I like it, Billy. I'm not mad at that.
I was honestly thinking this whole time, like, how could we disprove? Like, but when you go down and drink a Guinness, just remember, you're getting controlled.
Yeah. What's the collective word for like a group of sinister Irish people? You know, like
a bar,
cabal,
a pub,
a cabar.
McSorley's old ale house.
Like a pub.
Yeah. Thank you, Billy. Good job on your research. Proud of you.
I'm sorry if I stumbled clumsily on any of those ideals. I mean the best.
It's okay. Billy does mean the best.
You did say coop when it's cool.
You said a lot. Bad week for Billy's pronunciation, I will say.
What was the other one? Oh, say the word
aristocracy.
Say the word that starts with a Q.
Oh yeah.
And it means you have a problem with something.
I got a qualm.
Oh.
Yeah.
Qualm.
Where's the R? Where you put an R in there?
Also,
you're thinking quorum.
Also, you said Newfoundland. It's Newfoundland.
Well, somebody tweeted at me the other day. Maybe you guys got tagged as well, being like, why are we not just like correcting Billy's pronunciation on things.
I
like to let him cook, and then at the end we can address certain things because
you can't get him out of his.
It's like the offside rule in soccer. Don't disrupt the flow. Let the play happen, and then you can go back after.
Yeah, we'll address it after the fact.
I don't know what's wrong with
the Billy Hive afterwards be on your bumper too.
Well, it's also like Billy learned these words by reading them. We shouldn't make fun of him for that. He learned Newfoundland.
Qualm, I don't get. You're just saying it wrong.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just the wrong letters.
Yeah.
But Billy,
I see stuff in my head as words before I say them. I don't know what that means about me, but especially when I'm talking about stuff I read.
So in your head, it's like a Star Wars, like...
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know why, but like seriously.
What are you seeing in your head right now?
I was thinking about the word qualm.
Is that a word?
Quelm. Is that what you guys think I'm saying for quorum?
No.
No. The word you're trying to say is qualm. Qualm.
Oh.
It's like you have a problem with something. You have a qualm with it.
Qualm. A qualm.
A bone to pick.
Quorum.
No, don't say. Stop saying.
It's an L.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
No, but I don't know.
We just let you cook.
Yeah. This next segment is also going to be brought to you by Hey Dude. Fact. I put on my Hey Dude shoes this morning. I was going to hop on the Peloton. I woke up. I realized I didn't have any C4. Fortunately, there's a supermarket not too far from me that sells C4. Put on my Hey Dude shoes. Went right out the door. No fuss, no muss. The best quick put on shoes in the world. They're great for wearing around the house. They're great for wearing on a neighborhood stroll. Actually, you know what? The official shoe of errands. Hey Dude is a perfect errand shoe.
Yeah.
If you're running a quick errand, you're wearing your Hey Dudes, okay? You know that feeling of coming home after a long day, sinking into your favorite chair on the porch, popping open a beverage, feeling the good vibes instantly wash over you? Well, that's exactly how your feet feel the second you slip on a pair of Hey Dude shoes. Hey Dude makes some of the best, comfiest, lightest, and coziest shoes out there. They're easy to put on. They look good with just about everything. Some even have interior faux fur linings that are perfect for winter weather and the holidays. We got to get Arian some faux fur interior lining Hey Dude shoes. You'll love them. Try a pair for yourself. Your first step inside, your toes are officially on chill mode. Come to think of it, Hey Dude shoes are kind of like a home for your feet. Welcome home, toes. Use promo code BARSTOOL for 15% off at heydude.com. Grab a pair for yourself or as a gift to special guys and gals in your life this holiday season. That's heydude.com. Hey Dude, good to go. Hey Dude shoes are so good. So good. Super comfortable, very light. I'm going to wear them tonight when I get home. I'm probably going to wear them while I watch Avatar tonight. How's that sound?
Ooh, you might want to slip them off, man.
Maybe I'll slip them on and off. Maybe I'll put them on when I go to the kitchen. I got a big night planned tonight for sure.
Are you really gonna watch? Are you really gonna watch it? I mean, pump faking me on movie watching shit. Yo.
I mean, I have to watch, right? Because I'm going to go see Avatar 2.
You are doing yourself a disservice if you don't watch the first one. And after you watch the first one, you gotta text me and let me know the graphics because, like,
I will.
Come on, fam. It's some of the best graphics to me I've seen.
Maybe I'll microdose and watch it. Billy, let me get some of that microdose. There's another thing I want to get into. Do we have voicemails as well?
We do, but get into whatever.
One last thing, because this is I saw this thread earlier today. It's fucking hilarious. So this is from Jeremiah D. Johns. That's his handle, Jeremiah Johnson on Twitter. It's compiled some of the best takes of the year on Twitter, like the most wild takes of the year. And so he's doing a big tournament. He's doing like voting on it and everything. And this region is kind of like a bracket. This is called the ableist and problematic region voting thread, a region for all the many, many, many things that were called ableist and problematic this year. Okay. So the 1 versus the 16 seed, the number 1 seed is criticizing incest is ableist versus number 16, which is bookshelf privilege. So here are the tweets that line up with criticizing incest and bookshelf privilege.
Is this what I think it is?
No, this person tweeted, you ever think about how incest is bad because inbreeding leads to deformed children is a really ableist take? Like, I don't know. Maybe arguing that people with disabilities shouldn't be born isn't the gotcha people think it is. All right. So that's going up against Gretchen Anderson, who says, I have a very dyslexic friend, and he calls bookshelves performative smart signaling because he only reads by ear, and it made me check my bias about bookshelves.
What the fuck?
Pretty strong takes on both accounts.
I think there's a clear winner, but
yeah, it's the ableist,
the incest one. Yeah,
you know what?
Easily, that's a sweep.
I'm related to a bunch of dyslexics, and they have the best sense of humor, so I can totally see that coming out of one of my buddies' mouths.
Oh, please do the 8-9. I'm looking at it right now. Arian.
All right,
wait, did you send the thread? Hold on, what did you send?
No, I'm reading them out loud.
If you just go search incest ableist, the thread comes up.
Okay.
The 8-9 is going to be tough for you.
This is tough. Restaurants are problematic. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay, the 8 seed, restaurants are problematic versus the 9 seed, eating at home is problematic. Here's the 8 seed. This, please, this.
Well, you have to read the first tweet first.
I am. That's the
no, the quoted tweet.
Can you send it? Because I need to read it in the Twitter format.
Yeah, hang on. Just go search the words incest ableist.
I got you. I'm gonna send it because they're assholes. I got you, bro.
Well, I'm on my computer, not my phone.
Ableist. Okay.
You don't have. Hold on. You don't have your iMessage hooked up to your computer.
It's my work. It's my work computer, so I don't have my iMessage.
I don't think
Big T over there doing dirt. That's what.
I just don't want my text messages on my work computer. That they look at it.
I don't think Pete
if
can
if your spouse don't have their iMessage hooked up to their computer, they're cheating.
Yeah, that's accurate.
It's a hot take.
Quite a take.
It's a hot take. It's a hot take.
Why would that make a difference?
Why would you not have it on?
Open? Because then everything pops up on your computer. Yeah. One time,
it's a hot take. I'm not saying it's true. I'm saying it's something to think about.
Something to think about. All right, I get it. This one is the 8-9 seed. Restaurants are problematic versus eating at home is problematic. Here's the restaurants are problematic take. It starts off with a tweet by somebody that says, "Why do people think restaurants are basically fine and would still exist under socialism, for Christ's sake? Please, for half a second, just think about it. Really getting my mind blown this morning. Lol." That was quote tweeted, and this is the actual take that's nominated. This, please, this. If you're a, quote, communist, end quote, and you actively enjoy restaurants, especially wealthier ones, you're just a bourgeois sympathizer. Learn to cook your own fucking meals. I like that. And then the eating at home is problematic tweet is, recent Twitter discourse compels me to remind you, home cooking is regressive, NIMBY aligned, and problematically gendered, and ultimately a means of reifying existing class structures. The revolution will not be prepared in your kitchen. It will be served to you at a restaurant.
Are these people fucking serious? Well, what is NIMBY?
Not in my backyard.
What is not in my backyard?
People that claim to be for policies, but don't want them enacted in their own neighborhood.
So why is cooking aligned with that?
Home cooking? I have no fucking
regressive
idea.
NIMBY aligned.
I get it because there's a system of labor that's on, like, for they should have incorporated like delivery services into this.
Okay, here's saying you're not supporting like that labor market by eating at home,
right? And also someone has to prepare the food at home, and that was historically a female.
I don't agree with it, but I can understand the take of if you go to a restaurant and eat food prepared by people who are like serving you, making $2.50 an hour, that's problematic.
Yeah.
This one I don't understand at all.
I don't get it. I don't get these people. Here's another good one.
Learn how to cook. It'll help you get laid.
Here's another good one. This is a 4-13 matchup. The 4 seed, men owning dogs is problematic.
What?
Dear men, stop owning female dogs. It gives off a clear indication that you are subconsciously want to control and own women. Purchase or adopt a male dog instead.
Agreed. Stop trying to have other bitches.
And then that's going up against a 13 seed. Mitski is ableist for asking you to put down your phone.
Oh, no, not the Mitski girls.
Bestie, that's great and all, but some of us have mental health issues that cause disassociation, and I film to remember the moment. I'm not looking at my phone the entire time just to press record on.
Damn.
No one's twisting her words. The message of her tweets was insensitive to people who struggle with disabilities like hearing, vision impairments, or memory-related disabilities like ADHD and depression, and are filming for that reason. My hope is that she understood our message.
This makes me really, really fearful for the future of this country.
Well, don't worry. These people don't actually exist.
Yeah,
no. That's wrong now. This is a 2015 take. This is a 2015 take. That this won't leave college campuses. This is only the crazy leftists at college. Well, guess what? Those people are adults now, and they're still doing it.
No, and they don't have jobs because they can't.
This take is outdated. It is in the real world. It is infiltrated corporations. It is ruining this country. That take is no longer valid.
Here's a good one. This is a 6 verse 11 seed. The 6 seed, walkable cities are fat phobic. And this person just tweeted, quote, walkable cities, end quote, is a dog whistle for fat phobia. And that's going up against a juggernaut of an 11 seed.
How is this an 11 seed?
I don't know, but hold on to your butts. Hold on. I just want to make sure I say this carefully.
Good preface.
Yeah, well, that's in the tweet.
I know. I'm reading. I'm looking at it.
Hold on. I want to make sure I say this carefully. Yeah, Anne Frank had white privilege. Bad things happen to people with white privilege also, but don't tell the whites that. That is just a fucking barrel fire of a take right there. Anne Frank's white privilege is, man.
I wonder what party these people voted for.
I did see a alt-right tweet that said there was such thing as Jewish privilege, and that was pretty wild.
I think these people I think these people probably don't. They probably think that voting is ableist.
Well, mail-in ballots.
Or no, people think that the new take is that the voting is ableist because not everyone can have access to voting polls as easily, and that I don't know if this is ableist, but how felons can't vote.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, freedom privilege?
Kinda, yeah. Non-convict privilege.
Okay, here's a good one. This is the 7 verse 10 seed. Here's the 7 seed. Friendly reminder that literacy isn't an uncomplicated apolitical good, and the framing of it as an important life skill ignores the context that makes it necessary for survival. So promoting literacy is problematic. That's a big one. It's not that's a crazy take actually. They're getting.
Well, I might understand that take. I don't understand how I don't like how it's worded, but if I think I know what they're talking about, I don't disagree. I don't think they meant literacy. If they meant literacy, that's stupid. But I think what they mean is a lot of important information can be wrapped up in a lot of jargon, right? Let's say legal terms, or let's say a lot of higher brow intelligentsia does this. People in college campuses, they're so highfalutin with their words that they kind of collude the point, right? Which is why I love when Einstein said if you can't explain it to a 5-year-old, you don't really understand the topic. And so I kind of understand what he's saying. I hope that's what he's saying. That might make sense.
Okay. All right. Well, in that case, it should get blown out of the water by the 10 seed in this region. The 10 seed is the fact that large penises are seen as desirable is just another symptom of Western denigration. Large penises are a sign of low intelligence and savage genetics. Small penises indicate high intelligence and aristocratic blood. And then there's a picture of a statue with a tiny little dick. That's a great take.
Wait,
that by the Hellenist.
The Hellenist
retweet.
Y'all got to go. By the way, this is only one of the 4 regions of this. There's 64, the NCAA tournament. I mean, some of these takes, I'm currently in the what the fuck region.
Mm-hmm.
What region were we in before?
The ableist and problematic region. The 1 seed in this is killing people is wrong, especially innocent kids. I pray for the families. This was after the Texas elementary school shooting. Mm-hmm. I pray for the families. However, I stand with Salvador Ramos. Y'all like to bully and tease people without consequences. I was bullied for years. I know the feeling he felt. The bullies got bullied. He got y'all back in a big way. Now cry.
Oh my God.
Is he the shooter?
Yes.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Oh my
The
god.
bullies didn't a bunch of little kids get killed?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Here's another one. This is showers are ableist. Showers today are a form of social control.
No.
They want you to be clean and hygienic so you can be a docile and productive member of the society so the pain can be eased.
What?
Oh, dude. Like.
Agreed.
Y'all got to go to the what the fuck region.
Okay.
There's some things on here that I won't even say out loud.
I'm going to drop by. I'm going to swing through the what the fuck region real quick.
Also, you missed one of my favorites in the ableist region. I've got to go back.
Okay.
Wait, how do I get to the what the fuck region?
Just go to that guy's page.
Okay.
Yeah, here's the 512 in the ableist region. The 5 is hi, someone with heavy food sensory issues here. Frosted mini wheats are one of the only things I can actually consume regularly and not get sick from. Guilting people who can't support boycotts is ableist as fuck, but y'all aren't ready for that conversation. This guy,
That's the dude that crossed a picket line, right?
Uh-huh.
And he's like pretending that he's a liberal,
Yeah.
but he crossed a picket line because he can't eat anything except for frosted mini wheats.
yeah, because he quoted a guy who said to boycott Kellogg's products, and that's going up against the 12. This is a thread. The first one says, I appreciate your point, but go touch some grass is an ableist saying. Next person says, I don't think it is because my intention was to tell people to go outside. This person says, yeah, that's why it's ableist. Using go outside as an insult also targets people that have difficulty socially interacting with people because they're neurodivergent, mentally ill, or because they have a health issue that would restrict their ability to socialize. So if you say touch grass, ableist. I gotta go read every single. You think I could blog this?
Wait, what?
It's borderline.
Wait, 9/11 was in the
Careful.
Turning Red. The movie included 9/11.
What's Turning Red?
It's like a movie
Pixar
about
movie.
a red panda.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be. I thought it was supposed to be a metaphor for like a girl getting her period. I didn't see it.
Showers today are a form of social control is great.
Yep.
I love that.
All right, so this is a good one. 5 verse 12 seed. All right, this is somebody talking about small women, saying that their height is minor coded. Any girl under 5'7"
I've seen this.
Any girl under 5'7" is basically a red flag for being minor coded, since that's around the common height for children.
5'7"? 5'7"'s.
They're saying
I actually,
that's
I agree
above average for a woman.
I agree if that was like 5 foot or like 4'11".
I'm 5'5".
Yeah, I mean there are a lot of women out there that are 5 feet tall.
The average female height in America is 5'4".
What is the correlation?
Meaning when a character is developed like in a movie or in a book, and they're beneath 5'7", that's actually like a dog whistle for pedophilia because they're trying to make this person look like a little girl.
Mm-hmm. I've seen that take as well.
That's wild. Now it's going up against
5'7"?
I don't.
5'7"'s a tall.
5'7"'s tall.
That's a tall woman.
Tall.
Now this is going up against.
Mom's 5'2", 5'3".
PFT is minor coded.
Hell of it. That's fucked up.
Damn.
I'm 5.
Yes.
Fuck,
Yes,
dude,
he's
no.
got a beard.
Dog.
He has a beard.
Sorry. I'm
That's
sorry.
fucked up.
I'm sorry.
Shit, I don't know how we can continue.
Oh, she did voicemails.
Yeah.
Oh my!
All right. This was a good conversation. we're
Mad Dog,
having.
you got voicemails.
No, we got to
Wait,
keep reading these. They're too
No,
good.
I don't
Too
know.
good.
We got to go to the discourse region.
What's the point? I don't know that I can read. I can't read any of these ones that have bad words in them because I'm not allowed to say them. Or else teachers will get mad.
I'm sorry. It was right there.
I actually think like dudes, like really tall dudes that date really short girls.
Oh, that's
weird. Like that's really weird.
Or like Shaq dating anyone.
Well, no, like yeah, like
Shaq should have to be celibate.
Yeah, he really should.
no, not in like Shaq's case. But
I mean,
like,
it's weird.
That's
like
to take Billy.
when this not but like sometimes like you.
I
see,
think
like,
if you're over 7 feet tall, you should.
you shouldn't reproduce.
You can't. Well,
no,
you've got like maybe you can date like a woman that's above 6.5 feet tall, and that's about it.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes you see like 6'6" dudes with like 4'11" girls, and it's like, what the fuck, bro? Like what is like, and then they like make a joke like, yeah, if we get into a fight, I'll just pick her up and put her on the fridge, and then she can't get down. It's like, yo, dude, that's weird, bro.
That's what he said.
Yeah,
that's abuse.
I know.
Not Shaq didn't say that, but.
Oh, this is a wild one. The 14 versus 13 matchup that we have right here. Or excuse me, the 4 versus the 13. This is from Amanda Duarte. I remember when this take came out. I do wonder how these white supremacist lawmakers would feel if their little white daughters were raped and impregnated by black men. That's like the most that's like the most racist tweet of all time, and she's trying to act like she's the not racist person in this conversation.
Well, she's trying to act like it's like, well, they're the racist ones, but you're the racist one for like thinking it.
Yeah,
gotcha. Yeah. What if you were raped by a pack of blacks?
Yeah, no, that's like what she's doing.
Exactly what she's doing. What the fuck?
And this is going up against the 13 seed. Monogamy culture is consumed with ideas about possession and hoarding. It's romantic capitalism. I don't know what the fuck romantic capitalism. Arian believes it.
I love it. Romantic capitalism.
Okay, wait. This is a 6th versus a 3rd seed. I just like the 6th seed. This isn't discussed much, but Putin very much benefits from white privilege. I just can't see a scenario in which a black or brown man running Russia would be allowed to invade Ukraine with no devastating consequences. See Crimea in 2014.
Yeah. Russia has famously had many black and brown leaders.
I mean, she does have a point. Like, if like when Iraq invaded Kuwait.
Yeah, we said no. We said you get your mustache back over that border, Saddam.
Yeah.
Low
key. But yes. I think the bigger problem is nukes.
Yeah, it's probably a much bigger problem that they have.
Are nukes white privilege?
India has nukes.
China has nukes.
Pakistan has nukes.
Yeah, no.
No, they're not.
No.
Okay. Fact check. Let's see.
Have you read the 611? The 11 is outrageous.
Let me get to that. 611. I don't.
In the what the fuck region, the 6th seed.
Oh yeah.
Canceling $10,000 in student debt is like the police standing outside a school while children are inside being murdered. You could have saved them, but you chose not to in order to protect yourself. That's not even the winner, and that's the 6th. The 11 blows this one out of the water. I also watched. This is a woman. I think I don't know. Talking about her children, I presume. I also washed the 11-year-old's hair tonight. We're doing the curly girl lifestyle. And then in all caps, the amount of emotional labor I've performed in the past 2 hours. Holy shit. That's followed up with, how do I tell the 18-year-old that using me as a therapist and crisis counselor isn't healthy for either of us? He has no consistently supportive adult voices in his life except ours, but I'm conscious of the fem labor paradigm it's reinforcing that I'm the, quote, parent confidant.
Yeah, this person's just like upset about being a mom.
Yeah.
The emotional labor. Yeah, it's called being a parent. That's basically the entire thing.
You know what the craziest Casey Anthony take I ever saw was? While we were researching Casey Anthony.
Kaylee had bad vibes?
No, Kaylee. What's different between what Casey Anthony did?
No, that okay. For those of you, I don't think Arian's.
I know the tweet you're talking about.
There's a tweet I'm referencing where like this dad was talking about like, can we stop maligning like parents that are absent for their children? Like, what if the kid just has bad vibes? But they were being serious. I was not being serious.
I mean, I'm not advocating murder, but there are some kids with some bad vibes, bro.
Well, you'd agree.
That's a real, bro. Like all kids. Like I hate when people say, "Oh, the children of the few, the children are precious, the children are pure." They're not. They're not.
Robots
all of them are not. A lot of these fuckers are assholes, and then they just grow up to be bigger assholes. Some of them change, most of them don't. But there are some kids that are dicks. It's just keep it a buck. It's just
hopefully life shapes them right.
I don't know, but
they'll find a bigger asshole.
Propaganda. This propaganda that children are just these pure little sweethearts that are it's not true. They're
so
assholes.
The tweet I was saying, I'm remembering it from my brain, but it was like something like, "What's the difference between what Casey Anthony did and abortion?"
Oh my God,
it's a pretty big difference.
I know, but that was the wild. It was like, what the fuck?
Holy shit,
that's crazy.
No, but it was the person advocating for like
anti-abortion.
No, pro Casey Anthony. I think I worded it wrong.
There was a pretty wild abortion take in the what the fuck region. I'd have to go back and find it because I
saw that too.
I would have to read it verbatim, but
I almost don't want to even read that.
It's pretty bad.
It's very bad. Yeah. Here's a good one. This is a 2 verse 15 seed in the what the fuck region. This is from Patricia Morgan. She's a white woman. She says, "I had a black friend. I liked her, and I think she liked me. But now she is hostile and unpleasant. I am sure I didn't do anything to her except be white. Is that what our teachers and our political leaders really want for a society? Divide us because of our skin color?" So she just thinks that her black friend stopped liking her because she was white. That's going up against a juggernaut of a 15 seed. This woman says, "Motherfuckers fake freckles? You're kidding, right?" Someone replied, "Is there something wrong with fake freckles?" And the original poster said, "It's literally the same thing as blackface. You are appropriating my appearance that I had to suffer for in order to exploit the positive aspects, but reap none of the negatives."
Hey,
as someone with freckles, I disagree with that take.
You do?
Are real freckles blackface?
Real freckles?
I mean, what's the difference in fake and real?
I think this person...
I guess that you're putting it on, but if you're saying freckles are blackface, I feel
No. They're saying that like fake freckles is like red face for gingers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have to be ginger.
It's appropriating the ginger appearance.
Fake redheads.
It's Irish. It's like the people are appropriating Irish culture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Everyone go check out this thread next time you think this country isn't fucked.
No, but these people literally don't operate within the realm of society.
They really don't.
They don't have
now.
A lot of these people don't have jobs. They're just on Twitter.
Man, what?
Like these people don't like. Some of these people
How could you possibly make that statement?
Pal, these are executives at Coca-Cola now.
No,
I don't know about that. Is Coke woke?
Oh, do you not remember the training they gave? It was probably a year ago, maybe. I'll go find it and send it to you.
Okay. I'm forgetting about that one.
Oh,
I know Pepsi is, right? Pepsi stopped the Kendall Jenner ad.
Oh, this is.
Oh, yeah.
Let me hang on. I can find it right
Not
now.
police brutality.
Yeah.
It's tracks.
Yeah, the Coca-Cola gave an employee diversity training where they urged employees to be, quote, less white.
Okay. Oh, yeah, we talked about that, I think, on this show.
Probably.
There were some details in there that didn't really line up with that being the premise of it.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there's like screenshots of the training.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say that the point of that training was to tell people that they all need to be less white. We dug into the detail. I remember doing actual research on that and looking at
to be less white is to be less oppressive, be less arrogant, be less certain, be less defensive, be less ignorant, be more humble, listen, believe, break with apathy, break with white solidarity. That's on the PowerPoint.
Okay.
So is white used like as a metaphor there?
No.
Yeah, I think white was used as a metaphor right there.
A metaphor?
Or yeah, like when it just explained what they meant by being less white afterwards.
But that's not what a metaphor is.
They definitely should not have said less white. But
well, no, they should because that's what they meant.
They explained, but what you just explained right after that, that's what they're trying to tell people. They shouldn't have been like,
and they are ascribing those characteristics to white. No, that is what they meant.
Right.
You're saying surely they didn't mean that. They did.
I'm saying that what they're telling you to do, those sound like all good things, right? Like
because if you are white, you are inherently those things. That is why you need to not do them.
You're inherently all the opposites of those things?
No, you are inherently oppressive, arrogant, certain, defensive, ignorant, humble, You don't listen, you don't believe, you don't break with apathy, you don't break with white solidarity.
Okay, yeah, that's
Hence
bad.
why you need to be trained to unlearn those behaviors inherent in white people.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad thing to have in a corporate training, for sure. But
they're not bad things to have.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like the explanation of what they want you to be, those all sound like positive things. They probably should not have ascribed those to being like white people don't have any of these things.
Sure.
Probably not bad. Probably not good to say that. This is a good one right here. This is the 7 verse 10. Really, the 7 seed is just really good. It's this guy named John Reyes. And he says, even after a 12-hour night shift at the hospital last night, my wife still has the energy to shovel the driveway. God bless her and all our frontliners. Time to make her some breakfast. And it's a picture from his window of his wife outside shoveling what appears to be like, I don't know, 8 inches of snow off the driveway after getting home from a 12-hour shift at the hospital. He says chivalry's dead.
Is that because he's not out there helping?
Yeah.
Okay.
That one's got to be a joke.
It might be.
I think it's not. I'm trying to, think about it. If she was out, like, let's say it's like 5 a.m. and like this guy, I can understand how that happens. But he should have, instead of taking the picture, went out and shoveled with her.
Mm-hmm. Here's a question. This is the 12 seed. This is from somebody named Uncut Otter. So just use your imagination on that. Is it unethical to attend a no loads refused pimped out cum dump event if the bottom has you blocked on Twitter, even though you've never talked to them and have no idea why? And then he had a poll set up of yes, definitely, kind of, not really, nope, no loads refused.
Is that a sex party that he's talking about?
I want to make sure I have this right.
Mm-hmm.
This is a gay man.
Yep.
Who has somewhere found an invitation to a quote no loads refused event. I won't even say the next word.
It's a pimped out cum dump event.
And the person who is being had sex with has this guy blocked on Twitter.
Yep.
He does not know why.
No idea why.
And he is asking the what is the
Twitterverse?
The noun version of ethical. Ethicality?
Ethics?
Yeah, he's asking whether or not
ethicalness.
Whether or not it's ethical.
Ethics.
Of attending to have sex with that person.
To dump his load in that person. Now,
got it.
Now the fine print clearly says, Big T, that this is a no loads refused.
Yeah, I got that.
Cum dump.
Uh-huh.
But the person hasn't blocked. Like, you can imagine the moral quandary that he's in. Put yourself in
the
this
moral
person,
quandary that this country is in is what we should be concerned with.
Put yourself in this person's shoes. You got invited. Someone invited you to this cum dump.
It sounds more like an open invitation.
Yeah, but how did you find out about it? It was a flyer, maybe? A flyer at the local library? I don't know.
Big T, would you ever participate in an orgy?
Oh, gosh.
Shut up, Billy.
At any rate, you've been invited somehow to the no loads refused party. But you don't know why they have you blocked. Should you go? Like, you want to dump a load, but on the other hand, like, are they refusing your load because of the fact they have you blocked? We've all been in this position before. Nope, no loads refused is winning the poll by a long shot. So if it's called no loads refused, it's no loads refused.
I pray for this nation.
You can't turn down a load. It says right there in the invitation. That was brought to you by Amazon Music. Hey, Prime members, have you heard Macrodosing is now ad-free on Amazon Music? With the Amazon Music app, you get access to the largest catalog of ad-free top podcasts, and it's now included with Prime. To listen, visit amazon.com/macro. Avoid the ads, listen to your favorite Barstool shows on the go, offline, wherever life takes you. Start listening ad-free by visiting amazon.com/macro. That's amazon.com/macro. I downloaded Amazon Music a couple weeks ago. It's fantastic. It's a great app. I listen to all my podcasts on it now, actually. So you can try it too. It's amazon.com/macro, and you can avoid the ads. I don't know what a better sell I can give you than that, although we do have fantastic sponsors making great products at a fair price. But if you want to skip the ads, Amazon.com/macro. I downloaded it. I use Amazon Music. I love it. The voicemails are going to be brought to you by Beard Guys. That's right. Beard Guys offers a comprehensive collection of beard care products for all types of facial hair and skin types. Cleanse, enhance, moisturize, style. If you want to get a beard like Arian Foster's AI representation, you got to be using Beard Guys. Their best-selling products include Beard Wash and Tame. It's a 2-in-1 wash and conditioner for beard hair. It deep cleans your beard, purifying it from daily buildup and grime. It nourishes your beard hair with argan oil, vitamin E, and olive oil. It's got Beard Balm. It tames your facial hair while keeping it soft and smooth. Got Beard Oil. It softens the facial hair, hydrates skin. It reduces itch. It's packed with a blend of argan, avocado, coconut, grapeseed, sunflower, and jojoba oils. You're going to love it. Craft your beard care routine today. Go to beardguys.com. That's BEARDGUYZ.com. If you've got a beard, you should be using Beard Guys. It's the best in beard care. Trust us on this one. Arian Foster's beard. If that's goals for you, you're going to need to use Beard Guys for that. All right, we got some voicemails.
Yep.
Let's do it.
Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Oh wait, let me start over.
It's Carter from Fayetteville. We got it.
It's Carter from Fayetteville, Arkansas. Fuck, marry, kill, pizza, football, and driving. Y'all have a good one. Love y'all.
Quick and easy.
This is the easiest fuck, marry, kill of all time.
Yeah.
What are they again? It's driving, pizza,
and football.
Football.
Oh, I do like driving.
Marry football, fuck pizza,
kill driving.
No.
Wow.
No.
Big T. Like, careful. With
I'm
your
actually
phrasing
gonna.
on that
I'm
one.
gonna marry pizza, fuck football.
Comet Ping
kill
Pong
driving.
would have something to say about that.
No, that's not funny.
Marry pizza, fuck football.
Pizza is like a top 3 food in the world.
It's very carb heavy.
But there's
Football,
What a take.
I don't think you think that's like a hot take.
I think that's a hot take.
Well, pizza in
Pizza's the
Texas
top
isn't
3
pizza in New
food
York.
I will give you that. Every time I go to New York, that's the first thing I do is go try out a new pizza spot. Pizza in New York is definitely cracking. Top 3 in the world, though.
I mean, it's
Guys, I
it's
don't
an
know.
elite food.
I give top 10, top 3 though. I don't know.
3 to 5.
Yeah, I'd say top 5 pizza for sure.
Football, you already live half the year without anyway.
Pizza. I ate a lot of pizza growing up, but I think actually for the good of my health, being no pizza and killing pizza might be the best.
Kill?
Yeah.
This is really just an argument of what's better, pizza or football.
Well, driving.
That's true.
I like driving.
Do you like driving anywhere close to as much as you like eating pizza or watching football?
I love driving. Driving's up there with football.
You would give up football
That's
to
outrageous.
drive?
Billy football.
Yeah.
Billy Cars.
Hey,
By the way, that name was given to me a long time ago.
some guy recognized him as Billy Hot Takes.
Billy Cruisin'? Why? How is this possible? But
I haven't had some of the best fun I've had in a while is driving to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I was driving to a football game.
The only reason you were driving. Yeah. Billy Motor Vehicles.
Yeah, Billy. Listen, you can do whatever you want to do. I'm just letting you know that, like, football and driving, I'm beginning to question.
I like
Billy
to drive.
MV.
Driving's boring as fuck.
It's so fun.
I like to drive. Driving is. I agree
It's
with Billy.
so boring. One of the biggest problems in this country is people doing other things while they're doing it.
That's also true.
It kills people every day.
Arian also has a car that drives himself. It's an invalid take.
No, like
That's how sick of driving I am. I got a car to do it for me.
I might purposely drive like to somewhere I should be taking a plane this Christmas just because I like driving so much.
Okay.
I mean, I do that because fuck planes. I hate planes.
I
do it to bring my dog.
I like driving. Driving's fun, but I've been without a car for like 6 years now. And when I get behind the wheel, I'm like, oh yeah, this is kind of fun. But like, I would never go 6 years without pizza or football.
You don't love the open road.
You don't love football.
Billy wants to sing "Life is a Highway." Go ahead.
Life is a highway.
In the time we've been talking about this, someone's gotten killed from texting and driving. Think about that.
Oh, hopefully not anybody that's listening to the show.
Since we've said this, somebody has
drive sober, get pulled over.
Well, when we said it, it was in the past, which is actually
died
now.
from heart disease from eating too much pizza.
Yeah, heart disease is a bigger killer than anything.
Yeah, worth it. You gotta die sometime.
Like pizza's one of those.
Yeah, but the
things.
point is that pizza's cool and fun. Driving is not fun. You have to do other things while you're doing it.
But like you can still eat Italian food. That scratches all the itches. Pizza.
Yeah. So
I don't think so.
Absolutely not.
For that reason, I fuck pizza. I marry football. Football for the rest of my life. And then I fuck pizza because one, I think it would be probably the best feeling out of all those things. It's warm, saucy, and then you can find other things with cheese and sauce and dough to replace it. Lasagna. I'll eat lasagna for a while.
Yeah.
Little stuffed crust action in there.
I'd kill pizza. Fuck football. Marry driving.
Whoa. Okay. So that's crazy.
You're a married driver. You love driving that much.
What exactly? Like watching football?
All of it. Playing it, watching it.
Okay, actually.
Imagine if your entire life football didn't exist.
Yeah, I got
actually.
football.
I married football.
You get fired, Billy.
Yeah.
Billy drive.
I just really love like when the topography changes when you're driving places.
Yeah.
Like how stuff changes.
It's nice, I guess.
Pulling over after driving.
You can enjoy that on a train.
That's very true. I would love to take a train across the country.
We need more trains.
They didn't earn anything.
Bruh, trains are the superior way to travel. I'll be saying that shit all the time.
Trains are fantastic.
Ooh, y'all want to do a macro train trip? That would be lit.
We could.
I was just on a train this weekend.
Yeah, let's run a train.
Oh God,
Billy.
Why do you gotta
no loads refused.
Jesus.
All right, next voicemail.
That was a joke.
What's up, Macrodosing crew? Ewan Red from Alabama calling in. Hey, I had a question, kind of an odd one, maybe a little more directed towards Billy. Did a lot of random stuff, but I'm curious, do you have one just useless fact or statistic that you know off the top of your head that maybe you should know? Anyway, love the podcast. Keep it up. Number 2 on my Spotify rap. So, love it. Keep it up. Thanks.
90% of guns in the home are used by someone who lives in the home.
Yeah. That's the point of owning one.
No, like who live in the home.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if you own,
that's why
if you own a gun, it's more likely to be.
I couldn't hear it. What's the question?
What's one useless fact or statistic that you have memorized?
I think you're saying
more likely to shoot somebody in the home.
Yeah.
Than somebody. It's more likely to be used on somebody in the home.
Yeah. So like you're more a family member is more likely to get shot, self-inflicted.
If there's a gun in the home.
If there's a gun in the home and that gun is most likely to be used on somebody in the home.
The overwhelming majority of crime is committed against people you know.
Yeah. And then also like if somebody breaks in, you're likely to accidentally shoot somebody that you live with or mistake somebody that you live in
statistically
live with for a break-in.
Having a gun in your house accessible is most likely to be used
against you
on somebody you like one of your kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
That's just the first thing that popped in my head.
I have a more uplifting statistic.
Please.
About the greatest baseball player of all time. If Hank Aaron never hit a single one of his 755 home runs, he still would have had 3,000 hits.
Wow.
Also, he has the most total bases in baseball history, and the guy who's second is like 18 miles behind him in bases.
Barry Bonds?
I think it's Mickey Mantle.
How's Barry Bonds not up there?
I love the Wayne Gretzky one. If you took away all his goals, he'd still have the most points in NHL history.
That is crazy. That is insane. Wayne Gretzky is probably the one person that you can slice and dice his stats up so many ways that will just blow your mind. He did have more empty net goals than Alex Ovechkin. Just pointing that out because a lot of people are talking about Ovechkin's empty netters. He does get a few of them. My suggestion to you would be maybe don't let the Capitals get up by 1 or 2 goals on you in the third period. Then he won't get an empty netter. But Wayne Gretzky had more empty net goals than Alex did. So there.
It was Stan Musial. It's now Albert Pujols, his second in total bases, and it's 11 miles behind Hank Aaron.
That's crazy.
About 650 bases.
We have any other voicemails?
No, that's it.
Okay.
All right.
My useless fact is just everything I know about the Ohio Turnpike.
Give us one.
Not as much of a fact, just more of like me knowing at every exit what rest stops will have what restaurants.
What's the best one?
There's one in between. This is for all Ohio people. If you don't understand, obviously, but there's one in between. I think it's by Mommy. If people in Ohio are picking up what I'm putting down, and it has like an Auntie Anne's, a Dunkin', a Panera. There, I think an Einstein Brothers too. Like it's a really, really good one, and it's under construction right now. Actually, I take it back. It's not in Mommy. It's in Freedom, Ohio. And it's
so the best one
is in Freedom, Ohio.
The best one has an Auntie Anne's pretzel,
a Dunkin',
an Einstein bagel.
Yeah, a Panera.
And a Panera.
The Panera.
That just so we're clear. That's the crown jewel.
I'm from Ohio. That's like
Ohio.
A big deal.
Okay, all right.
But the Panera is the one that gets you because usually they don't have fast casuals like that. It's usually just fast. So fast casual being in there is a big deal. That's how it used to be because they used to have au bon. No one cares. They used to have au bon pains everywhere. Mm-hmm. And then they got rid of all the au bon pains.
Au bon pain?
Au bon pain.
Yeah.
And then replaced them with whatever. But now having a Panera is
Elite broccoli cheddar soup.
At Panera?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very good. There was some lady that went viral earlier today she was talking about it's one of the teas or one of the drinks that they have.
It's like so much sugar.
The mango, whatever it is. She said that she drinks like 4 of them a day because you get free refills. And she just looked up the stats online. It's 83 grams of sugar
per one.
But that's not the crazy part. The crazy part is it's 260 milligrams of caffeine for each one. So she's slamming like
10 cups of coffee a day.
She's 1,000 milligrams of caffeine per day. Oof. Which is 10 cups of coffee. Pretty wild.
How do people exist like that?
And she also said she doesn't really drink caffeine besides that. I got news for you.
You don't need any more, girl.
You drink caffeine. Maybe mix in some DMAA, some geranium seed extract, right, Billy?
Yep.
All right. Thank you guys for listening to another episode of Macrodosing.
I got my useless fact.
Hold on. Shit. Okay.
It's not useless. It's just a good segue out of the show. The sea dwelling creatures in the new Avatar are just as sentient and just as intelligent as the land. So like all the beings, they're just as smart. They have their own language and everything. Going to be fire, bro.
Do you think they're smart?
Rotten Tomatoes give it.
I think they're smarter than orcas.
Way smarter than orcas.
There you go.
That's wild. I can't wait to see it.
They're just as intelligent as the Na'vi.
Do you think
Na'vi are the native people?
Do you think if they like link with these sea creatures, like they linked with the flying creatures,
they can? Yeah.
But do you think that the flying creatures are going to think that the Na'vi are cheating on them with the sea creatures?
Okay. We appreciate you guys listening to
SonyHall.com. SonyHall.com.
Isn't it weird that they have sex the same way they link with those creatures?
If you want to,
don't spoil it all for me, Billy. I'm about to go watch this movie.
If you want to hear Billy do this live, go to SonyHall.com.
SonyHall.com. 13 years.
Yep.
Yeah, check it out. Sony Hall. Arian will be there. Billy's going to be there, and we'll entertain clients afterwards. Big T will be doing the lib detector test. Mad Dog
bring your mom.
will be giving you side hugs.
Yes.
She said.
Yes, I promise.
Bring your mom.
And Arian will be doing a MILF contest.
It's not a MILF contest. I want people to know that this is a safe place to bring your mom. We're not going to creep out on your moms.
No.
We just love moms on the show in the best way possible.
But you'll probably get backstage if you bring your mom for Arian.
We're just joking, kind of.
Sorta.
All right, see you guys next week. Love you guys.